Babylon, why you're breathless? Breathe in strength, breathe out stress. So show love and fearless. Breathe in strength, breathe out stress. Babylon, why you're breathless? Breathe in strength, breathe out stress. So show love and fearless. Breathe in strength, breathe out stress. Them one we just waiting to exhale from slavery. Plenty hostility to make the vice be hazy. To turn the earth into an atmosphere to fear the hemisphere Babylon, the city of adversity. Complex of complexity to make man uneasy. And still continue sequels of unequal daily. Try to make shatter breath mystery so we don't breathe deeply. To have our society full of anxiety. Babylon, why you're breathless? Breathe in strength, breathe out stress. So show love and fearless. Breathe in strength, breathe out stress. Babylon, why you're breathless? Breathe in strength, breathe out stress. So show love and fearless. Breathe in strength, breathe out stress. Once we often puffing with anger and raging, and running out of breath, upset, hyperventilating. Some big asking for air cause of the press of young pressure. And those in sufferation feel like they're suffocating. From economical segregation, strangulation, and all of the fast teaching them what in circulation. Situation because in people had palpitation. Snake toxic to nature and the nation. Babylon, why you're breathless? Breathe in strength, breathe out stress. So show love and fearless. Breathe in strength, breathe out stress. Babylon, why you're breathless? Breathe in strength, breathe out stress. So show love and fearless. Breathe in strength, breathe out stress. Try put to rest the respiratory system. Uniform brutality, bronchitis, them victim. Them want exit your oxygen from out of existence. Fixated and fantastic about man asphyxiation. Them want asthma, they breath of life just like an infection. And got the air polluted with them wicked intention. Try to panic attack we with trial tribulation. They toxic to nature and the nation. Babylon, why you're breathless? Breathe in strength, breathe out stress. So show love and fearless. Breathe in strength, breathe out stress. Babylon, why you're breathless? Breathe in strength, breathe out stress. So show love and fearless. Breathe in strength, breathe out stress.
Shalom, 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 Mishpachah, and welcome to Friday Night Live.
So greetings to each and every one of you down in the Caribbean. Shalom. I hope that the storm, what is it, Aaron? Was the name of the hurricane, Brother Shay? Aaron?
Yes, Hurricane Aaron.
Okay, so I hope that it didn't bother you guys too much down there in the Caribbean, and I hope that you're doing well. Shalom to the families over in South and Central America. A lot of things are brewing. It looks like the president may want to go in there and touch somebody and wage a new war over there.
Mm-hmm.
Shalom to the families right here in these divided states of America. I hope everybody's doing well here. Across the border in Canada, shalom to you all. Over in the UK, shalom. Africa, shalom. In Europe, shalom. The Middle East, the Far East, and every island of the sea, shalom. Ella's going to open with a word of prayer, and we'll get started here tonight.
Heavenly Father, we thank you, we praise you, we bless you throughout the day. You protect us going out and come back in home. We thank you tonight for your blessing towards us. Those that are not well, we pray that thou may touch their bodies. And they too all will be healed and give you thanks and praise. Father, we thank you for all of us that gather tonight for that special class tonight. We pray that thou may speak to Brother O'Shea through him, for him. and be with him tonight on this wonderful broadcast, and Brother Kifa, as he reads Brother Yona, as he be with all of them. Father, guide and protect them. May your will be done. May your name be praised from the beginning to the end. As we sit down to enjoy the wonderful words of life, we give you thanks. Through your Son, Yeshua, we pray. Amen.
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 Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Elder. All
All
right.
praises.
Well, we see the Mishpachas coming in. As y'all are coming in, I hope that you all are doing well wherever you are, and ready for tonight's broadcast. A lot of things are happening around the world, as you can clearly see. It seems like every time you're trying to catch focus on one thing, something else pops up in the news. And as I mentioned at the beginning, it looks like the president wants to go into South America to wage war over there. And he tried to get into Mexico, and the president over there says nope. And now he's trying to get into Venezuela, and he said that there is I think it's a 50 million bounty on the head of Maduro. Now the funny thing is, family, is that I don't know if you all know this, but according to OPEC, Venezuela has the largest oil reserves in the world, billions of barrels, billions. According to OPEC, Venezuela has more oil than the Arab countries, and I think the United States is right at the bottom of the list, right? So it makes sense why they would want to go in there and wage war, because of the resources, the natural resources that is over there. And right next door in Guyana, there's also a lot of discoveries of oil, and a lot of the large companies are moving there. So that's usually the reasons and justifications for war. Every time you see something happen is because somebody want to take something. If you go back in the old news back in the 1800s, early 1900s, you'll see that a lot of these presidents were working along with the Europeans to go into certain countries and chop things up for natural resources. So it's the same old game, same old song. And that's why we got to stay out of the people's wars. Stay out of the people's wars. And we can only do that by keeping the word of the Most High. So, Brother Shea, talk to us. Bible prophecy in the news. Matthew 24:6.
That's right.
Amen.
All right, Mishpachah. Bible prophecy in news. And you can see many of the headliners that are on the screen. That's just a taste of what's going on out there. So let's get right into it. All right. Tonight we are going to look into many of the crazy things that we are witnessing. Again, this is not to scare anyone. So we're not here to terrorize anyone about crazy things that we're talking about, gloom and doom. It's not about that, Mishpachah, but rather to continue to educate and show our people what our enemies are doing. This is what we are here doing on a weekly basis, teaching our people, showing our people. Hopefully, we can always be aware of the dangers around us, and how all relates to the prophecies we read throughout the Bible. So we're going to get into some things tonight that should open up our eyes and see a bunch of the madness that continues to happen in the world. All right, remember, all of this is part of the script of what the Most High has put in motion. We have our part to play, and so does our enemies. So we have to always consider and remember that in the back of our heads, that this is all part of the Most High's doing. We do our part, we will be taken care of. Like Rebbe said earlier, stay out of the heathen's business. All right, let's look at the book of Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 23, and then Isaiah 55 and verse 11.
I have sworn by myself, the word is gone out of my mouth in righteousness, and shall not return, that unto me every knee shall bow, every tongue shall swear. Isaiah 55:11. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it.
So we see that Isaiah the prophet is basically confirming what the Most High is telling all of us. He says, I have sworn by myself, the word is gone out of my mouth. So he's saying the word that goes out in righteousness, because he is a righteous judge, and shall not return. So we have to understand that everything that we are witnessing today is all part of the plan. And we have to get our homes, ourselves, our lives in shape and ready for our return. That's why we pray all the time, every Shabbat, every day on the prayer line, make the time short. Verse 11 of Isaiah 55 says, so shall my word be that goeth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void. So there's no change in it. It has already been established, and we can see prophecies unfolding every day. It says, but it shall, that means guaranteed, it shall accomplish that which I please. So everything is set in motion, Mishpachah. We have to do our part. Our enemies will do their part. And I want to start off this way because there's a trend that's going on, and we're going to see this trend as we go through tonight's lesson, okay? All right, read that quote for me, Kiefer.
In politics, nothing happens by accident. If it happens, you can bet it was planned that way. Franklin D. Roosevelt.
That was one of the presidents of the United States that says in politics. Now, politics shapes a lot of different things out there, and we're going to see how it deals with the everyday lifestyles, living conditions, education, economics, even within the religious sector, how everything ties into place. And he's saying nothing happens by accident. So there's no coincidence out there. We just read the Most High has everything in motion, and we're going to see how the enemy has his stuff in motion. It says you can bet it was planned that way. Matthew 13 and verse 38.
The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom. But the tares are the children of the wicked one.
So I put this here so when we start tonight's class or go through tonight's topic, we're going to see the foundation that this world that we live in, the system that we all live under, you know, it doesn't matter if you are in the United States, if you are in the UK, South Africa, Egypt, Brazil, China, Japan, in the Caribbean, Hawaii, wherever you are, it doesn't matter where you are. The field is the world, okay? And the seed of Israel are the children of the kingdom. That's the good seed. But the tares are the remaining individuals that we see throughout the world. All other families, okay, are the children of the wicked one. And we're going to see how it all plays into tonight's lesson, okay? All right, so we're going to look at a temporary role of the wicked. I mentioned this in a previous class, and I want to mention it again because it's very important to understand how the wickedness that we're looking at today, why it's so prevalent, why it's going on, how they're moving, by what power they're moving, and who's behind all of these things, okay? So we're going to start in the book of Job, chapter 9 and verse 24. Read that one for me first.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Uh-huh.
He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where? And who is he?
So the question is, if not, where and who is he? But the important part is the earth that we live on, planet Earth, is given. Who's given? Who is the one doing the giving? We understand through all the classes that we've been doing that you have two worlds. Two nations are fighting in your womb, two worlds. And we understand the curses. And we understand that that time it will flip. It's going to have what you call a reverse of the curse. So right now, currently, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Psalms 58 and verses 3.
The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
We talked about this last week, and I'm just going to briefly talk about it. Estranged meaning they have no connections whatsoever. It's like a seared conscience. They are programmed that way to be that way. How and why? Jubilees 15 and 31.
And he sanctified it and gathered it from amongst all the children of men. For there are many nations and many peoples, and all are his. And over all hath he placed spirits in authority to lead them astray from him.
Okay, can y'all hear me clear? Because my mic is up loud. Everything is up loud over on my part. One? Okay, good. All right, yes, so back to Jubilees 15:31. You see it there. And overall, when you read the next verse, it goes into detail about specifically Israel not being part of this all. But we're going to focus on this part of the verse. And overall have he placed spirits in authority to lead them astray from him. So yes, the wicked become estranged because the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Now let's go on to the next slide and we'll see something here. Continuing, temporary role of the wicked. Numbers 22 and verses 41.
And it came to pass on the morrow that Balak took Balaam and brought him up into the high places of Baal, and thence he might see the utmost parts of the people.
And you can see right there, Mishpachah, nothing new under the sun. We're going into the historical records to show you that the high places have always been set up on this earth as part of the wickedness ran by the devil and his agency. Matthew chapter 4 verses 8, you see how he even approached the Messiah.
Again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world.
All the kingdoms of the world, go ahead.
And the glory of them.
So Hatan himself understood, and he was hoping in his mind. He was, you know, he was just wish that he could have gotten the Messiah to slip. But the Messiah already knows everything. He said it is written. It is written 3 times. But what I'm pointing out here is the high places, all the kingdoms of the world. Who's in charge? The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. All right, Ephesians chapter 6 and verses 12. Let's read that one.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Why is it always in high places? Because the rulers of this world, this world is dark. That means all the governments that we see in the United States, in Canada, in Brazil, in Hong Kong, in China, Japan, you name it, all over the place, Africa, South Africa, Russia, Germany, France, the list is long. Every government that we see, agency out there that we see, falls under the umbrella of this principality and of this power, because they are not of the Most High. And you see the reason why the Most High has everything placed in that particular order for a reason. All right, so let's get into some of it now, because I just wanted to lay the foundation on that so we can see the temporary role of the wicked. Because again, the kingdom is going to come back to us. Hallelujah. All right, Mishpachah, everything we see unfolding has been one giant test. Do you believe that?
Hey, it's one thing after the other. Might as well look at the Simpsons. They always predict something programmed.
Everything is pre-programming. From the Y2K. Rebbe, remember Y2K?
Yeah, we spent a lot of time trying to wake our people up back in the day. Not because like if that was a big thing, but if the heathen is thinking that it was a big thing, we should always be ready, because if they lose their minds, guess what? It's going to affect us. So we always try to teach our people, listen, we don't know if something is going to fall apart or not, but it's always good to be vigilant, and that's the key thing. And we got a lot of pushback and mockery and stuff like that. That's like back in the day, and that was all good because it prepared us. The Most High was doing like a dry run at
Yeah.
that time to kind of prepare us for where we are now. Because if you see the way the world is going, things can happen. I mean, the Fauci flu was a good example for readiness because they can make an announcement on the news midnight, and by the next day the supermarkets are empty. That's how fast things happen.
Mhm.
All the toilet papers on the shelves are gone.
Gone. So from Y2K to the pandemic, every area of the world is one big petri dish, and you see the picture here, all the hands that are in it, because the heathen themselves, they're continually experimenting, they're continually testing, they're continually looking and seeking and trying to access the knowledge, that hidden knowledge. Now, what other giant tests do you think that's going on out there?
Well, we got CERN and what's going
CERN.
on with CERN,
Mm-hmm.
and they're basically putting AI up as a god, basically, not realizing that they're, like Elon Musk said, they're communicating with demons, or they're unleashing the demon, or a lot of them are not realizing the dark forces that they're messing with until we realize it'll be too late. I mean, recently in the news they showed you not only rabbits, squirrels, and deers having these ungodly looking thorns or things coming out of them, but black spikes or something.
Mm-hmm.
They're basically terraforming the earth for the inhabitants of what's to come. Not only for the Antichrist that's in the progress, but the demons that is being unleashed by CERN and different things, as we are being told. Many strange things are happening, but it goes to show you that they're really not thinking about anyone. They really don't care about anyone, because with all this uncovering that they have in the food, they're talking about red number 40 and all these different things with carmine beetles and yellow and 5 and the different numbers of the different dyes that's in the food. They push it off to be implemented in 2 years, to give the companies 2 years to retrofit or change whatever it is that they have to do. But that really doesn't solve the problem that they've been poisoning people for so many years.
Yeah.
It's like saying, well, my bricks are bad, but give me 2 years, let me change them. It doesn't really make any sense. But we already understand, and for those that really don't know why, we're trying to help and reach the loss of our people that's out there that is not, Noah preached for many years, and all we're trying to do is share what we find. And hopefully, if we get one person to understand and open their eyes and their mind to what's really happening and see that we're trying to help, it'll be a blessing.
Yeah, that's the key word, keeper. You at least trying to get one person.
Yeah.
Yes, one person. We're not even going the way of Abraham that said if there be such and such number. We're just saying at least one person.
One person. Right.
Yeah, I wanted you to pull this up, Brother Shay, because when you read the Psalms, it says that the people are estranged, the wicked are estranged from the womb. This is the definition of it. If you go down a little bit, where it says, go down some more, go down. Okay, keep going down. Where it says that the Genesis, right there, the Hebrew Chaldee lexicon.
Okay.
You just open up where it says read full entry. Okay, so I like that part. It says, what is it? Psalm 78 and 30. That's what you read, right? Correct?
Yeah. Let me make it a little bigger. Hold on.
Okay, so that's the part that I want to really touch on, because it says, especially from Elohim, estranged from the womb, especially from Elohim, from the way of truth and uprightness, right? They tell lies. They tell lies. So the Bible tells us clearly, family, that when it comes to these people, see, some of us have a problem trying to comprehend that some vessels are simply designed right? To be disposable, whereas you have vessels of honor and dishonor. What we've been told or taught in Christianity is different. They said everything is just from Adam is the same, but that's not the truth,
No.
right? That is not the truth,
That's
because
illusion.
it is, because the same way that the same way that when we make things, we make a decision which is going to what those things, the purpose of those things is going to be for, and we use those things accordingly. Even when it comes to animals, when it comes to plants, when it comes to anything in nature, things are poisonous, things are healthy. We utilize the things accordingly. Even things that are poisonous may have a reason as a medicine for a time, but you don't use that poison on a regular basis. So when you come into the church, you say, "Well, everybody's from Adam," but no. If that be the case, why did the Most High separate just from one set of people? He didn't say, you know what, I feel kind of sorry. We're gonna have 2, 3, 4, 5 different separations. We're gonna have a group called Israel, then we're gonna have another group in the north, and then we have another group over here, and these are gonna be different groups of righteous people. He didn't do that. He made Israel. He gave Israel only the law, statutes, and commandments. He didn't do that with anybody else. Can you go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2? I want to read verses 1, and then I want to go down to the last part of it, verses 21. Just read verses 1 and skip down to the last part.
Okay.
For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not all right, our life is short and tedious, and in the death of a man there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave.
Yeah, so the Bible is telling us that nobody has returned from the grave. The wicked knows this, but they're trying every which way to run away from facing judgment, right? They don't want to die. They got I was watching this we talked about him before, this billionaire who is siphoning the blood from his own son.
Yeah.
His young son, which is, I think his son is either a young male, either is it a teenager or a young adult. But he I guess he made a deal with his son that he will suck the blood of his son every once in a while and run it through his veins so that he can be basically on the same battery power as his son. Let's look at verses 21, start from there, and then read down to 24.
Such things they did imagine, and were deceived, for their own wickedness hath blinded them.
See, so the people just simply carved out for wickedness. Because when you think about how is it that people, I mean, look at the way the world is right now, family, and just come to your senses. The people who have all the education, they're billionaires, they have so much wealth, so much power, and the only thing that they can arrive to is war, lies, killing people, destroying, taking things from people, forcing people to do what they want. They talk about freedom, but there's no freedom. Just the other day, I heard that they're going to make it a crime to burn the Israeli flag. It's okay to burn the American flag. That's freedom of speech, but you're not supposed to burn the Israeli flag because that's considered anti-Semitism.
Mm-hmm.
Is that crazy? Right? So let's read on, bro, Kiefer.
As for the mysteries of Elohim, they knew them not, neither hoped they for the wages of righteousness, nor discerned a reward for blameless souls.
See that? So they know when it comes to the connection with the Most High, these people are separated. I mean, you go through the Bible even says, if the righteous scarcely be saved, where does the godly appear? I'm just messing it up, but you get the point, right? It's such a small remnant. Scarcely be saved, right? So if that be true, don't tell me that these people, you see them go to church. Christmas is one of the biggest holidays. Everybody knows about Jesus, but for some reason, they can't walk like Jesus walked. Like they got all the money and access to everything that they can live 1,000 lives on the money that they have.
That's because Jesus is a baby and all he's doing is crawling. He can't walk, so they can't walk either.
I guess so. But the people are miserable, right? So the mysteries of Elohim, they're disconnected from that. Verses 23, Kifa.
For Elohim created man to be immortal and made him to be an image of his own eternity. Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it.
See that? The last part is important. The people that hold the side of Satan, they find death, right? Now, think about that carefully before you even assume anything, right?
It's just like most of these Hollywood stars go out and unfortunately they get the fame and they get the fortune, but 90% of them, you find them roaming the streets. Like Martin did the same thing, roamed the streets. He supposedly was off his meds. Justin Bieber, mostly of even recently in the news, this
Sodomite.
Nasty Naz.
Yes, yes.
Walking around with underwear on, like he's losing his mind. I mean, when the demons latch onto you, it's unfortunately that you can't function right. And all of them get a demon assigned to them. Don't be confused about it, because the demon usually have a name. And they usually call from Rihanna back down to Jay-Z to Beyonce. All of them have a demon.
That's right.
You'll hear them mention it in most of his songs, but it goes right over your head. But anyway, I digress from that.
Yeah, so real quick again, that last part, they that do hold of his side do find it. And you have to understand, when you take the scriptures and you compare it with what the people are doing, these people, I don't care, they can put labels, they can call themselves whatever. These people are not keeping the commandments. And besides, the Most High already said that he gave Israel his commandments. The other nations, I'm sorry for that, but the Bible already said what's going to happen to them in the future. But you can either accept it, and here's the other problem, Brother Shea, Keeper, and Elder, is that one of the reasons why people bend the rules is because their association with the other nations.
Yes.
Think about that.
Yep.
All right. Either through marriage, friendship, or something blinds them from accepting what the word is saying. I can't change the word. The word is it's already done. As the Bible says, the Most High's word is not going to return void. We either have to get with his program or prepare ourselves for hell.
All right, let's look at what the AI overview is saying. Read that for me, and we're going to have a little discussion about this.
A soft launch is a strategy for releasing a product or service to a small limited audience before a full-scale public release, acting as a trial run.
So remember that. Go ahead.
To test performance, gather user feedback, and fix any issues without high risks or extensive marketing. This allows business to refine the product, optimize user experience, and build momentum for a more successful official launch. So I put this here because let's go back to the previous slide. Everything we see unfolding has been one giant test, okay? Now moving forward, this is what you call soft launches, because they're strategically releasing certain things in small quantities in certain areas before a full-scale public release. I mean, even in the movies, we see where there's a virus or something. They already have the cure for it, but somehow there's a Wuhan that exists, or there's some person that worked in a lab that made a mistake and took it home. There is always something, but the whole thing that we have to really understand and remember is there's a depopulation agenda. And once you keep that in the forefront of your mind and the forefront of your thinking and realize what the Most High is trying to tell us, you will come to understanding of what the issues that we're facing and dealing with each day.
And you mentioned depopulation agenda. And when you think about the many ways of them doing so, I mean, the list is long. Let's list a few. In the chat, list a few. You have abortion.
Okay. Eugenics.
You have eugenics. What'd you say? Birth control.
Okay.
Pollution in the food.
Right.
Spraying the skies. The medication.
Okay.
The water.
Right.
What else?
You mentioned about the food, so the soy
I mean, the
is
food,
heavy.
yeah.
And heavy
Soy.
pharmakia.
Pharmakia.
Yep.
Vaccines. I mean, we mention these things, but when you mention one, it goes into a long rabbit hole, a long line of wickedness, and you sit back and you're like, well, what are these people actually doing? They're always spraying, digging,
I mean,
pulling,
Years
poking,
ago,
prodding.
You tell them about chemtrails and look at you like, okay, he's growing a head from the back of his shoulder or something. But they don't realize that you have this thing called heavy metals that's being placed in aluminum and different things from your deodorant to the water that's being optimized in the skies that's considered rain to the chemicals that's used to purify the water for the people that live in neighborhoods that depends on public water, and the parasites and all the things that's in it. You can't continue fighting that. Plus a biogenic war that is with the food, the biofoods and the different companies out there that you're being attacked on
Every front.
every front.
It's like a man just standing there and he's just waging war. Every time he turns, he's fighting. Rap music, like someone said in the chat,
Yeah.
churchianity,
Keep your mind crazy.
music, movies, social media. I mean, they are attacking every part that you turn. That you turn. No one is safe.
Yeah.
Animals not safe.
So you come off trying to tell them that to think about this, and they look at you like you're crazy.
Yeah.
But all the craziness is happening out here in public that's masked in a way that it looks real, or it looks like it's the truth.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Most of these countries do have some type of religious system, right? Like in India, they got the Hindus. In Arabia, those places you got Islam. In the Western world, it's supposed to be either it's Christianity, either Greek or the other one, right? So basically, most of these governments do have some type of religious thing, and according to the Buddhas and the Hindus or whatever it is, they're supposed to be all about peace, right? Because after all, they always come together and talking about coexist and peace. How come they don't just invest in, all right, let us just make our country complete. Let's just demilitarize our country and make it just about Buddha alone. Because since Buddha's about peace, I mean, why not just try that? And since the West is saying, well, we believe in Christianity, then just put down all the arms and just print Bibles, push Christian doctrine everywhere. Make that the government policy. Christian doctrine is government policy. For the Hindus, it's their Hindu religion. Just make the religion itself the government body, because after all, they're all claiming that those things bring peace. So how come they don't spend the money doing that instead of keep building more destructive mechanisms, more poisons, more of this, more of that? Brother Mark says they can't because they're liars. Yes, it's true.
Yeah, you remember we read earlier that earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and the Most High put it in them to be that way. So, I mean, we always ask the questions, why can't these people see? Well, the answer is they can't see. The Most High made them that way. It's up to us to see. This is why we're crying out to our people and trying to wake our people up to tell them, stay away from the heathen. Separate yourself. Get out of the cities. Change your life. Serve the Most High. That's what you talk about. It will be scarcely for us. That's why it's called the remnant. Yes, Ema. First Peter. Okay, you know what? I'll pull it up so we can read it. Let's pull up. I'll pull it up so we can read it. First Peter, chapter 4. And we will see it. Okay. 18. Go ahead and read that for me, Kiefer.
And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinners appear?
And that is a very true question. We are judged by the perfection of the law. And a lot of our people don't want to apply that. They're chasing after the ungodly, the sinners, the world, who is given into the hand of the wicked. They keep running after these wicked things. So the question is posed, if the righteous scarcely be saved? And that's the question, because we are going to be considered the remnant. All right, so let's look at this, Bishop, continuing here about the soft launch. Read think tanks for me, Kiefer.
Think tanks are organization that conduct policy-focused research and advocacy on issues like economics, health, and international relations, aiming to influence policy and inform public debate.
So they have these groups that we mentioned this before, but there are people every day just sit down and they think about all the wickedness on their bed. They lay on their bed at night, they dream of how they can be the most wicked person, the most vile and disgusting person. And that's all they do. And then they come together in groups. Now let's look at the AI overview. Governments use several methods to test and evaluate policies before implementing them on a large scale. Do y'all see that? Governments use several methods. We see that in history many times on our people, like the Tuskegee experiment, how the whole medical world was formed. We talked about that. We looked at science, part 1 and 2 that I did, on how these people are just pure wicked when it comes to always experimenting. These evaluations methods forecast potential impacts and identify challenges, allowing for refinements to be made prior to full rollout. So before something's implemented worldwide, they're going to test, and this is why we see today certain things are being tested. And we're going to talk about this throughout the news tonight, how all of these things that we see are soft rollouts, or let me go back a minute, what it says, soft launches, okay, before the full rollout, such as the federalization of the police in DC. We can talk about that, such as certain vaccinations that are being pushed. We can talk about China and many things that they're doing behind the scenes. I got some videos to show y'all. And many things that they're doing, that these are just soft rollouts, soft tests before they put it on a bigger scale. It's known as pilot programs, okay? Pilot programs are small scale, limited time trials that test a policy solution's feasibility on a smaller representative population. So they test it one place before they bring it to the public. 1 Peter chapter 5, verses 8.
Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, is as a roaring lion, walking about seeking whom he may devour.
So, Mishpaka, I want us to be sober, meaning we have to pay attention to what's going on. Do not be altered or drunk with the wine of her fornication, the doctrines. Don't be distracted with all of the craziness that you see on social media, the gossip, and all other things that you find in entertainment, sports, music, etc. We should not be indulged in it that we are caught unaware. Be vigilant. Vigilant is a person that is always watching. But a lot of people don't want to watch. They want to go to sleep. They want to relax. They want to say, oh, we always talking about this stuff all the time.
They want the soft life.
Because why? Our adversary. We have an adversary. His name is Satan. And he has fallen angels that all they do is create havoc and find ways for us to break the Torah. The devil is as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. So every time you see these tests and trial going out, he's just all around the place trying to figure out how to continue to cause chaos and destruction.
You know, the funny thing about it is that when we explain to people that the Bible said, cry aloud and come out from among them, my people, they think we're talking about moving back into the 1720s and going in a bush and just look around between the leaves and not really, separating themselves. They want to feel comfortable by being closer to danger than being far away from it. Let me stay in the city where everything is closed, the traffic is exactly fine, I feel comfortable, and if anything happened, I'm good. Everybody else is dying with me. But we just trying to tell you, listen, there's a better way. We're not telling you not to have the comforts of life as far as have the internet, don't have food, don't have things, but be prepared for what's really happening, because trust me, the elite is preparing.
Yeah.
They have bunkers, they have all these different things, but no, you think that...
That's the question. They're preparing, but our people don't want to prepare.
Nah, it's just funny.
It's like our people sit back and watch them prepare, and then when it's time to run, well, where are we going to go? Well, we've been telling you to prepare.
Yeah, it's funny.
Mishpachah, we have to be sober, we have to be vigilant, okay? All right, let's look at some of these groups here. Think tank groups.
We have the Brookings Institution. We have Carnegie Endowment. We have Stockholm International Center for American, People of Justice, Hoover Institution, International Institution, Center for Strategies, Urban Institute, Council on Foreign Relations, or Councils of Foreigners, RAND Corporation, Center for Strategic, Center for a New
American
Society, Heritage Foundation.
And this is just some of it, but these are the major groups that all they do is they go into the colleges and they look for young minds who are itching to make a name for themselves and who are very vulnerable.
Yep.
And they bring them together.
Think tanks.
And they try to figure out ways of changing the world, getting rid of the Torah, killing out the seed of Israel, and becoming like the Most High. That's basically all they want to do. Death and destruction. How can we manipulate the world? Now they're doing everything through artificial intelligence. We're going to see some of that too tonight. Messing with the seed, messing with the earth, the animals, you name it.
Yep.
All they do all day, all night is think of wickedness.
Aspen Institute. It's crazy.
Now, what is their purpose? Read that for me.
The purpose, the goal is to identify and address weaknesses.
So they want to look for weaknesses in the tests that they do. Okay, so they put out, let's say they have this soft rollout on, for example, currently right now, the federalization of the police in D.C., the National Guard there. This is a soft rollout. This is a test. Now they want to see the weaknesses. When they do this in the neighborhoods, what's going to happen to the people? How are the people responding? Who's responding? What are they doing? Where are they going? And they sit down there and they write all this information down. And then they come back and do what?
Refine it. Refine the process and gather feedback before scaling it up.
Before scaling up. Now, what is scaling up? What does scaling up say for the AI overview?
Scaling up is the process of increasing the size, scope, or number of something, such as a business, a project, or a system to benefit more people, handle greater demands, or achieve larger goals.
Or achieve the larger goal. And the larger goal, Mishpachah, is to implement the beast system. That's the larger goal.
And there's something you really have to take away from this, because when they said benefit more people, you always have to think everything the changes go through, it's either to take your freedom or take more from you or tax you even more. It's nothing to benefit you, it's to benefit them. In the process of these larger goals that they have, of the greater demand of everything from you.
That's true. Okay, continue reading that.
This can be done by increasing resources, expanding into new areas.
New areas like what? They start in one place, and before you know it, it's global.
adapting a successful model to different contexts.
Rebbe showed some classes of how the police is training over in Israel and how to bring that tactics over here and throughout the world. And now they're doing even more. You see the surveillance, you see all these different things falling into place. Continue.
Or influencing policies to support it.
Psalms 83 and verses 3.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden one.
And this is just a piece of it. They come together, Mishpachah, and they try to figure out ways of bringing down and getting rid of the Torah and bringing down the people of the Most High. And they're very strategic in the ways that they do their things. All right, so tonight we're going to go and look at some videos and some articles, and we're going to have a discussion on all of these things. Now let's look at the events taking place currently to see how they are all testing before making it mandatory on a global scale to bring in the beast system. Now, on the left, you see the Hill. It says DC residents in new survey. What does that mean? They're taking note. If somebody's taking a survey, what are they doing?
Yeah, they're gathering information because what's the greatest thing these days is data.
That's right.
Data, information. Every person that went out there that did this DNA sampling and find out my ancestry.com and all these things, all that data is going someplace. I mean, and that data that they gathered on you is something that they're going to be using against you at some point in time.
That's right.
Don't be surprised. Why they need that information is not only for their robotics, but DARPA or any one of these conglomerate companies, you know, from NASA back down to, you know, the Pentagon needs this information to implement the agenda that they have in place. And a lot of people don't understand. You don't have to believe nothing we say. Try Chat GPT or try any one of these things, or go gather the information that, you know, the brothers are taking time to forge and to get and to share with you. You don't have to believe us.
That's right. Brother Xavier, yes, survey is surveillance. That's basically what it means. It's a soft surveillance. It's basically boots on ground and someone is taking note of what they see and go back and report it. That's the old way of doing things. And it is one of the best way of doing things. Word of mouth. Yeah. And this is what they're doing. So, you remember that TV show on Netflix, Designated Survivor?
Yep.
If you watch that, Mishpachah, everything that was in that show has happened and is happening.
And they have to tell you, they have to tell you it's a practice. They have to tell you what they're going to do. Because they cannot say they didn't tell you. And if you don't watch it, and you're so busy listening to R&B or any of those, I'm not saying that you shouldn't listen to what you want to listen to, but be vigilant. Pay attention to signs and know exactly what's going on and be ready. Be prepared.
Yep. You saying something, Rebbe?
Yeah, that thing is a slow. That's a slow move that they're doing. And if you notice, I think someone had spoken about it that all of the places that the president has mentioned that he's going to send troops are all ran by people of color, right? Whether it's a female mayor or a male mayor. So there are certain moves that are put in place. And, you know, unfortunately, a lot of our people are just gullible. The Bible says we're a sottish people, you know, sottish. And we're not seeing what's happening, so we just leave it alone. We just keep teaching, and
yep. And in that particular series, the president and the governor had back and forth words, both the one in Michigan and the one in DC, about federalizing troops and going back and forth. And we see now that that's happening. Yes, Brother Akin. Self-administered surveillance, because we give up all the information, Facebook, all the social media platforms.
A lot of people.
We just give it all information. Here it is.
I'm going on vacation. Okay, so your house is going to be left wide open if anybody to walk in. Hey, great, go ahead. Do it. Go ahead, do it, and then tell me about it later. I'll post it later.
Or you align yourself with a bunch of knuckleheads that would put your business out there for you automatically. And that's the problem. You see, back in the day, when you have loudmouth friends around you or people that are loudmouth around you, normally you would just move away from them. That's like in school. Now it's the same thing, but social media is the big mouth, right? People that put your information out back in the day, you would disassociate yourself from them. But in our time, we like and we continue to keep that relationship. And so they will just put out everything about,
And you might be a discreet person, but you have somebody that's just spilling all your beans. You're trying to keep your blood, and you turn all your blood over there spilling somewhere else. The Guardian. Trump targets Chicago and New York. See? DC is just a test. Like you mentioned, he's going to go to all the places where you have so-called minority leaders.
So let's look at who's the homeless. The homeless is probably 40% of them are the same people that defended this country as veterans. We got people that's not only traumatized ill because they can't afford the living conditions that's in there today. We have people that has been through divorce or any support issues that the government has placed on them. Then we have people that are ill based on not being able to keep up with the medications and all that. But the funny thing about that is that they said the crime rate has been down 30% in DC. And then all of a sudden they're implementing this. This is just basically a pattern that's going to spread all over America, not only with all the high rates of HIV that's hitting every city, town, and country. 5 to 6% of the different countries or cities out there have high HIV and AIDS rates. Where and how did all this happen? Keep it up.
Yep. Next, you see the future of AI, how artificial intelligence will change the world. It has already been doing that. China firm plans world's first pregnancy humanoid robot using artificial womb. We're gonna watch some stuff on that too. So I want y'all to just sit back in the chat. I want you to, while we're going through this here, if you have stuff, share it, put it in. We'll talk about it. And we're going to look at some things tonight to kind of see how crazy this world is.
And that thing with China firm plans about the humanoid robot, that was shown in a movie with Judge Dredd, where they had, all the stuff you see with deep fakes and all that. That I saw that in movies way back. And this is nothing new.
Let's look at this first one. We're going to look at Trump, executive order. All right, fair use, fair use.
President Trump laying out AI priorities for the federal government at a high-profile event in Washington. Eamon Javers joins us right now with more on that. Eamon, we're trying to figure out what this means overall and what we can expect to see in the industry as a result.
Yeah, good morning, Becky. Look, pledging that the U.S. will do whatever it takes to retain its global lead in artificial intelligence, President Trump signed 3 executive orders yesterday to speed up development in the field. The orders are designed to accelerate permitting of AI projects, expand U.S. tech exports, and eliminate what the president called woke in AI. Now, the president...
Notice what he says now. So you have a lot of barriers or speed bumps along the way because of legal issues when it comes to copyright, when it comes to different things. And this is the excuse that they're going to put out. But it really and truly has nothing to do with that. All they're trying to do is speed up the process of putting this beast system in place. So just listen.
The president's plan aims to block the government from contracting with tech companies unless they ensure that their systems are objective and free from what they call top-down ideological bias. Now, I asked White House officials on a call yesterday, who's going to decide what ideological bias is? They responded that what they're mostly concerned about is eliminating diversity, equity, and inclusion values from AI.
Now let's reverse that. Let me go back a little bit. Listen carefully what he says because it has to do with us, Mr. Prakar.
Logical bias is, they responded that what they're mostly concerned about is eliminating diversity, equity, and inclusion values from AI.
Because when you start speaking out against the system, it's basically putting a target on your back. That's basically what he's saying here. Because they're going to tell you, oh, freedom of speech, you can do whatever you want to do, but it has nothing to do with that.
He made, before that, they made a few points of reference to woke, to diversity. They had to talk about inclusion. And that has a lot to do with the fact that the knowledge has increased. And we are not only awakening to who we are and looking at a lot of the things that they're doing and they have done to implement the plan to keep us asleep. That's why they use the word woke, because they don't want us to wake up. They don't want us to know who we are. They don't want us to know our place. They like the fact that we have been studying their whole nonsense about they found us in the bush and we were savages and we didn't know anything. And we have to look up to the Greek and we have to look up to what Washington did. I mean, back in the day, yes, there was a problem. There was a Boston Tea Party problem. There was the Redcoats. There was all those problems, but it has nothing to do with us. It has everything to do with. They can cry for taxes, but we can't say anything. We got to just accept, be happy, be quiet, and keep going.
Yeah, brother Michael, installing racism in AI. That's what you call pre-programming the algorithms.
Right.
Okay. That we've been fighting against for so many times. You want to say something? You give me the mic. Shalom, Emo.
Yeah, shalom. Now that Brother Pincus bring up this about the Smithsonian, Trump said he want to erase everything from the Smithsonian concerning slavery.
Yeah, they erase
because
slavery.
it was not bad, and that they're always talking about slavery, and slavery was a good thing. It wasn't a bad thing. So they're trying to erase everything in wrong the place. But that's talking about black people.
Yeah. Because if you remove the historical records, the future is lost. That means they control how everything is narrated. Let's continue to listen to this real quick.
Officials said they're also focused on clearing away regulatory hurdles to new projects, particularly environmental concerns around new plant construction. Trump also said he doesn't want copyright concerns slowing down AI's ability to utilize the world's knowledge base.
When you read something and when it goes into this vast intelligence machine, we'll call it, you cannot expect to every single time say, oh, let's pay this one that much, let's pay this one. It just doesn't work.
I was hoping he was going to slip and say the name of it. But he says, he hold his tongue back and says, this machine, we're going to call it. All right, let me go to the next video. All right, here we go. This is Trump again. We're not watching the whole thing. We're just watching this little piece here. Fair use, fair use.
President Trump is at the U.S. Park Police Anacostia Operations Facility in Washington, joining local police and National Guard troops ahead of their patrol in the city. It's all part of his so-called crime crackdown. He's there with Stephen Miller, his deputy chief of staff, and Pam Bondi, the attorney general. Let's go to Monica Alba, who's also tracking this movement by the president. Monica, give us the latest update.
Yeah, Ryan. So as you can see there are about 100 or more law enforcement personnel. I'll send it back to you to listen in here to the president.
Okay, let's see.
The Capitol, it's going to be the best in the world. We're going to do what you're doing with law enforcement, and very importantly also, we're going to physically do it. We're going back to Congress for some money, and we're going to redo a lot of the pavement, a lot of the medians, a lot of the graffiti's all coming off real fast. It's going to come down real fast.
Now that's kind of code talk when he says the medians and stuff. Because what are medians for?
Yeah, the wilds, part of the wilds.
So all the boundaries that are put up, they're going to break those down and start a whole new thing. You got to listen between the lines when he's talking to.
We're working with Clark Construction. They're one of the big ones. They're the biggest here by far, actually. And we're going to be not so much building, it's cleaning and fixing and redoing and putting brand new surfaces down on your roads and streets. And when people come in from the airport all the way to the Capitol or the White House or any place else they go, and they're going to say, boy, this place is spotless. So we're doing that. Most importantly, though, we're going to have a crowd of people that are going to be happy. You know, I've received more phone calls from people in the last 4 days than I ever have. I've been here now 4 years plus. And by the way, I think we had about the best 7 months, they're saying, that any president's had. We've done a lot of work. We've done a lot.
He said he's been here 4 years plus, but then his term just started.
Yeah, I want to say something real quick before you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Explain. When you listen to what he's saying, basically he's speaking from another side of his mouth, saying, which is partly true, about the mess that you find where our people live, right? What he's doing is he's highlighting, putting in parentheses, basically Deuteronomy 28, how we don't take care of our communities the way it's supposed to. And of course, there are blame to go on both sides, because we can make the argument, well, we don't have jobs, we don't have the fundings, we have this, that, the other. That may be true, but cleaning and keeping things tidied up, and also the mannerisms of our people, you don't need money for that. It's just simply, you know, we know places that they make brooms out of straw, right? A stick and some straw, and they put that together and sweep the place and keep the place clean. My point is that we have embarrassed ourselves, right? We have embarrassed ourselves. That doesn't mean to say just because we are in this condition that the scriptures, the Most High said we're going to be in for a while, that we should make our neighborhoods like a pigsty. You know, I have seen how our people behave themselves, their speech, their attitudes, their children's behavior. These things are very embarrassing, disgraceful, distasteful, and we have to change. We have to clean our own house. So when the Gentiles come in and start saying things, we can't blame racism per se, because if we claim to be of the Most High, right, we are the ones who spend more time in the church than they do. We're more serious about righteousness or the church than they are, right? So how come it doesn't really add up in our lives? Why do we have so much wretchedness amongst our people, right? You look at the way, all right, we know Hollywood and the itchy people have been trying to utilize or promote the rap filth that you see out there. They're the ones who control the media, so they promote a lot of foolishness on the so-called black channels or the channels, the ghetto type world, whatever. If we know that to be true, right? If we see that that's what the people are trying to promote, why do we make ourselves available? Why do we enable this kind of death style, right? Or contribute to our own demise? It doesn't make any sense. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. Why do we contribute to destroy ourselves if we know that they're trying to promote us as being this low life in society? Why would you want to go to Hollywood or try to get a record deal to do what? To promote some of the same foolishness again? Let them do their thing. If they want to do it, let them do it on their own. But we should not contribute to our own demise. Same thing with our neighborhoods, right? If we police ourselves, we won't have to worry about the police coming at us. If we conduct ourselves, I remember years ago I spoke to a brother. He no longer deals with us. I don't know what he's doing, but he had a problem with trying to get a proper job. And the first thing I asked him, I says, brother, how are you dressing? And when he explained to me how he was dressing, the type of clothes that he put on, why he's always harassed by the police and why he can't get a job, I says, brother, you got to change that. You got to dress different. You have to
present yourself.
Present yourself. Wear some proper slacks on you, whatever. And he says, okay, Rebbe, I'll do what I says, brother, that's the problem. You know what he did? He changed And you know what happened? He called me, said, "Hey, I got a job." He was so excited. After he got the job, I never heard from the brother again. Isn't that amazing, right? But it goes to show he was harassed. I says, how are you dressed? All right. You think that the so-called fashion is helping us or destroying us? It paints an image in the minds of the world. We have to stop that foolishness and get back into clean dressing, proper attitude. When your children are speaking a certain way, stop it. Don't have that kind of talk around the house. Sometimes the parents are engaging themselves in as I said, ratchet behavior with the children, talking back and forth like we're not supposed to do that kind of stuff, Mr. Carr. So as you play that video with the president, you know, it's a bad reflection on ourselves. But hey, we're the ones. You know, I drove through DC many years ago, and the amount of rock stars on the street. You know what a rock star is? Somebody dealing with crack. Yeah. Crack rock. Rock stars were on the streets everywhere. And it was just unbelievable. It was like my first time going through the city, driving through, and, you know, it's just a shame to see how we carry ourselves. But we got to clean ourselves up.
Yep, and it's just a sad situation, but it's all part of the Most High's plan. Now, Brother Barry, you make a good point with the smart city sensors being deployed, because when they start to make changes within these places and bring in new construction, they're all implementing that surveillance system on how they're going to control, see things, and make things more accessible for them. Let's play this next video. This is about the new AI stuff that's coming out.
Technology. It's advancing faster and taking less time to be widely adopted than ever before.
Launch AI.
AI is basically an emulation of us.
They're one very special person to me.
Autonomous driving started.
AI can give us that answer that we've been seeking all along. Are we alone?
Each time we create a more powerful technology.
Well, this is what he says. Are we alone? They understand. See, they try to go against what the Most High is saying. Let's see what he says here again.
Are we alone?
Each time we create a more powerful technology, we create a bigger lever for changing the world.
Artificial intelligence can help us to feed the world population.
AI is teaching the machine and the machine becoming smart.
All out of the realm of sci-fi and magic, and now just...
What you said, sci-fi and what?
Magic.
Sci-fi and magic, and now just science.
Right?
We're at the dawn of a new age.
The dawn of a new age. So they're telling you exactly what is happening. Now let's look at this Neuralink, because that's the next thing that's happening, Mr. Picard. They're trying to merge and to, you know how the word says, it is the word that can go between even the spirit and the soul. They're trying to accomplish that with their artificial intelligence. Let's see what this says here. We're going to watch a small piece of it.
In a new update, Elon Musk's brain implant company Neuralink has revealed the future of human vision. They call it blind sight. And while the idea might resemble something from the fictional world of Star Trek, Neuralink is working...
Now, let me ask you a question. Blind and sight. How do those two words go together?
Oh, oxymoron.
I am blind, but I have sight. Play on words. Okay?
Hard to bring this technology into real life, and it's happening right now. The company's latest update was broadcast from inside their surgical robot workshop. These are machines that have spent the past year implanting computer chips into real human brains. Neuralink now has...
Brains, not brain. So behind the scenes, they'll tell you, you know, we're hoping for this to come out. But for years, they have been experimenting on people. Whether it's whether you're about to die in a hospital and they try to kill you off, if you're an inmate, or if you have been killed, sold on the black market, they find bodies anywhere, anyhow they can. If you're immigrants, trust me, there's articles you can read on that where people get kidnapped and end up in government experiments. It's all types of things go on behind the scenes. So when they talk about brains, then you know exactly what they're referring to.
7 human patients living with the implant, 4 with spinal cord injuries, 3 with ALS. All of them are using the Link device independently from home. Some are logging more than 100 hours a week with an average usage of about 50 hours. These aren't test sessions, they are real-world hours, and they are scaling fast. And for the first time, we have a roadmap for what Neuralink plans to accomplish with these human trials. By the end of this year, Neuralink implants will move from the motor control region of the brain to implants that target the speech cortex. This would hopefully allow Neuralink to decode words directly from thoughts in real time.
Thoughts. So now, Kiefer, they're going to know what you're thinking in real time.
Right.
That means instead of using Neuralink to control a keyboard to type things out, they simply go straight from brain to text or AI-assisted computer voice.
This is why we are being conditioned to just talk into the phone, and the phone does what it's doing. You know, and you call one of the demons' names, show me this or tell me this, and then before you know it, you get used to always talking. There's nobody in the room, so who are you talking to? Are you talking to the Most High? No.
This will be interesting to see how it plays out, because it's one of the few things that Neuralink can't test with a monkey. They don't have language, so it's going straight to human trials. This is also where the capabilities of Neuralink start to draw some legitimate concern, because at this point, on some level, the computer can essentially read your thoughts. Pretty freaky. But that's just the warm-up. In 2026, the first blindsight patient receives visual input directly to the brain using 3,000 electrodes and no working eyes required. This is something that Neuralink has already been testing on monkeys
Poor monkeys.
For years, and they feel very confident that it's ready for the first human subject. Then in 2027, Neuralink takes it up a notch by adding support for multiple implants in one person, including speech, vision, and motor implants, all working together and pushing the brain-computer connection to 10,000 channels. And then, just 1 year later, in 2028, they are aiming to connect over 25,000 electrodes, allowing for full brain access and making the first step toward direct AI integration.
This is why when Trump talks about pushing it so we can do these things faster, he's trying to tell the companies you have the green light. I'm giving the green light to continue to fund your wickedness.
With the human body and mind. So that's a lot of crazy stuff to accomplish in just 3 years, and some of this is pretty wild. But the standout of the list has to be blindsight. Not only because we're talking about literally curing blindness or straight up providing vision to people who don't have eyes, this is all set to begin just a few months from now. So here's what that looks like. Blindsight requires 2 new pieces of hardware. The first is a pair of camera-equipped glasses, essentially the same thing that we've already seen in those Meta Ray-Bans. So users won't actually look like Commander Geordi LaForge from Star Trek, which is probably better for them. The whole point.
See, they were always conditioning you, Kiefer.
Oh yeah, they condition themselves, not me.
And of this is to help people with disabilities live a normal life, not look like us.
They show you that guy. That's to pull the wool over the black people eyes.
Put the wool over the black people eyes?
Yeah.
Space alien. Those camera glasses connect wirelessly with a smartphone, which is going to translate the digital image into input signals, which then get sent via Bluetooth into the Neuralink implant. This is a new chip. Neuralink calls it S2, designed for stimulation of the brain. Every other Neuralink that has been implanted in a human has been an output device. It reads the electrical signals from the brain and sends that information to a computer. The S2 will take computer information and convert it into electrical signals that get delivered into the brain tissue, essentially thousands of microelectric shocks that stimulate the neurons into action. To accomplish this, S2 is bigger and more powerful than the standard N1 implant. It also uses new electrode wires. The threads are sewn into the brain by the robot. For stimulation, the threads are much wider, still microscopic, but in comparison to the standard threads, they are chunky. And that includes much larger...
So, of course, as technology, I guess, modernize itself and get better, things get smaller, things get faster, things get better because of the information that they have, the techniques that they do things. So you can see things started off big and bulky. Now they're going into nanotechnology.
Electrodes as well. The extra size means lower impedance, which allows for a safer and more effective delivery of electric charge into the brain.
So, Mishpaka, who in the chat ready for some Neuralink? Elder, you ready for some Neuralink?
I sent you a link whenever you have a chance.
Okay, we'll pull up just now. Okay. Let's watch a couple more minutes of this, and then we're going to move on.
The specific region of the brain here is the visual cortex. It's around in the back of your head, and it has some pretty complex geography. Most brain-computer interface, including Neuralink, is designed to just penetrate the outer layer of the brain, reaching about 2 or 3 millimeters into the tissue. And you can reach the visual cortex from that surface level, but it only gives you access to the very center of a person's field of view. So you can stimulate vision, but only inside the little circle right in the middle, which is not very effective. The regions of the visual cortex that are responsible for...
All right, that's good enough of that. Let me pull that thing up that you sent me, Ravi, to show the wickedness of how they kill these animals.
Yeah, just to highlight a few things, family. You know, the Most High cares about his creation. Even within the Torah, he says that how we should treat, you know, to be merciful, right? Even in the New Testament, you talk about if your donkey is in a pit, won't you try to get it out, right? Basically, you know, speaking about compassion to some degree, right? Yes, the animals are under our power, but abuse is something that the Most High is not for. And some of us may be looking at this thing as being beneficial for mankind. They always sell a thing as being beneficial until the revelation comes out of how deadly and all that information comes out. Then we scorn at that, right? But the animals, remember, the brain is a very sensitive thing. I don't know how many of y'all have ever had any back problems, back issues, spinal issues, where you get a pinched nerve, the kind of pain that you get in your back or whatever it is. Remember, your spine runs up to your brain, right? And your brain sends all that information where the pain is to the rest of the body. When you look at these animals, these monkeys are forced, they're not able to move, the tops of their heads are cut, their brains are exposed, they put those things in their head, they put a cap on top of it, and then they start to prod into and poke into the animals, the monkeys, the pigs, the rats, whatever animals, they poke in the brains over and over and over until they get what they're looking for, and these animals die. These animals suffer and they die. A lot of times they will say, well, oh no, no animal has died under our care. If you check the news, you'll see one report is claiming that no animals have died. And then when you look at another report, it shows that thousands of these animals have died and suffered.
Yep.
So which one is it? Can you scroll down a little bit? So you have physicians and different people who have noted the amount of suffering. You don't have to make it bigger. The amount of suffering. Remember, Mishpaka, for them to go into an animal's brain, the animal is not going to sit there, hey, you know what? Go ahead and cut my cap of my skull off and you can go poke around in there. No animal is going to do that. The animal is going to try to fight for its life. Right? So they have to sedate the animal. Sometimes they don't do that, because they want to see results. They want result. They want to see the threshold of pain, how much pain this animal can take before it dies. They make a note of that. Well, we're not going to go that high. We're going to go a little bit below that. They make a note of that, right? They make
How many
notes
times
of these things.
got to do before they get it right? That's the question.
Exactly my point. And so think about after all these things are done, then that same the foundation that was laid now becomes what you call medicine. And you're thinking, this medicine is for good. God is the one who ordained this medicine. It saves lives. Really. Yeshua took spit and made people to see, right? He's the creator of the universe. He's the same one that they say every Christmas, Merry Christmas, right? Christ Mass. That Jesus came into the world. He's God in the flesh. So how come God in the flesh did not give the people access to technologies back in those days? Well, boom, I'm going to give you all this update of technologies. You don't have to wait for the devil to give it to you. I'll give it to you so you can heal people, raise the dead, and all kinds of stuff. Why didn't he do that? Why did he just use something as common as spit? So now we have all of this access to so-called science. And what is it doing? It's bringing more demonic forces around us. It's not making anybody better. People are getting sicker. And at what cost? You tell me, Mishpachah, if you have a dog, you have a pet dog, or any pet or any animal in your care, and you tie the thing down so it cannot move, and you continue to poke it with needles and different things like that, and then after that, you go before the Most High and says, Father, thank you so much for a wonderful day. Tell me if the Most High is going to be pleased.
Nope.
With your behavior.
Nope. Nope, because number one, he's not going to hear none of the heathens' prayers. So the God that they're thanking is the devil himself. That's the God that they're thanking. All right, let's go to the next video. This one here is how they're trying to transition from having a physical cell phone in your hand. Remember the movie Minority Report?
Yep.
How everything, you see these people just doing stuff in the air, moving stuff, and you're like, what are these people doing?
Yeah.
But it's because of the instruments that they have inside of them that they can see things that the normal person can't see. So let's look at this video. Fair use, fair use.
Is your smartphone already obsolete? Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, and Sam Altman. 4 of the biggest names in tech all say yes. The days of smartphones, they argue, are numbered. In the next era, it's not just another phone. It's something that blends directly into your
Why is it all people on display here doing this stuff?
life. From wearable tech and brain-computer interfaces to augment...
Now, Mishpachah, let me go back a minute. How many of y'all would like to live in a world like this?
Yeah.
What a wonderful world.
Everybody just walking around with something in their eyes, huh?
Well,
Elder, you don't want some of these glasses like this?
No way, I don't need that.
You don't need that, Elder?
No, I want Yeshua to come right away. Try every one of them.
Yes,
That's
sir.
a beautiful thing, man. Look at that. You walk around with some high-tech goggles on. That's just craziness.
Faces to augmented reality and AI companions. The future, according to these tech visionaries, won't fit in your pocket. It'll be part of you. But not everyone agrees.
It'll be part of you. Remember, it says you will have a mark in your forehead or in your right hand, right? Now, they're fine-tuning. Remember, soft rollout, where they're going to do things, implement things, and try things in the system before making it mandatory or globally available to all. So these are just tests that they're putting out right now.
Before we dive deeper, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and tap the bell, so you don't miss the next breakthrough that could change how we live, work, and connect. Now let's break it down. Musk is betting on Neuralink, a brain chip that could eliminate the need for phones altogether. Sam Altman envisioned...
And we just saw the Neuralink video. So you know that they're doing it. People are dying and they're testing a lot of stuff on animals too. Rebbe was just talking about that.
AI is so personal and accessible that hardware becomes invisible. And Zuckerberg wants the metaverse to replace physical devices entirely. Bill Gates, he's all in on AI agents, not apps. Yet there's one holdout, Tim Cook. Apple's CEO still believes the iPhone has a long future.
Remember, good cop, bad
He
cop.
argues that the smartphone isn't disappearing, it's evolving.
And the reason why they'll say that is because you'll have some people who are speculative about it. They're like, yeah, I don't want that, so I'll keep my smart device.
All of them's in a rush for control over your brain. That's the new frontier.
And with Apple Vision Pro and mixed reality tools, Apple is taking a different path to the future.
Apple Store. Walk in. All these apps on your phone.
So who's right? Is the smartphone about to vanish? Or simply transform into something more immersive, more personal, and more intelligent? Want the full context on what the...
So, yes, Mishpaka, they're trying to work ways around having less interruption when it comes to control. Because if they can control everything that you're doing and they can see everything that you're seeing, it'll be much easier for them to have access to it and to put their agendas out. Now let's look at another thing here. See which one I want first. Okay, let's pull this one up first. Okay, cancel that one. Let's open this with 1 second. VLC.
Have you ever thought a robot could be your jail guard? Sounds like a sci-fi movie, right?
Okay,
but now, it's actually happening in real life.
Yeah.
And not just...
Let's pause it a minute.
It's happening in real life.
You watch Star Wars, you watch all these different shows. Now, the prisons is going to be automated by AI.
Have you ever thought a robot could be your jail guard? Sounds like a sci-fi movie, right? But now, it's actually happening in real life. And not just anywhere, but in China.
Everything China is one of the biggest testing grounds. Okay?
China has opened the world's first jail that is fully controlled by robots and artificial intelligence. It's not just shocking, it's like stepping into the future, today. Just a few years ago, robots doing police work seemed like a fantasy. People joked about machines walking around like cops, scanning faces, and catching bad guys. But now, in many parts of the world, that dream, or nightmare, is becoming real. In cities like Beijing and Shanghai, you can already see robot police moving through airports, train stations, and even public parks. These machines have sharp cameras. They can recognize your face, hear your voice, and even talk back. Some of them can even check your body temperature or notice if someone looks sick. During
body temperature, remember that, right? When they tell you stay in the car, we're just going to swipe and push a little button. Beep. That was all a soft rollout. Let's go back.
They want to go past that that vid part, the Fauci flu part. Just go past it a little bit. You know what I mean? And go from there or something, because you know how these people are already.
Yeah, they want to keep suppressing the message.
Mm-hmm. Taken this idea to the next level. They built a jail where everything is run by robots. From checking prisoners to watching every move they make, these robots do it all. They don't sleep, they don't get tired, and they don't miss anything. Cameras are always watching. Sensors track where people go. If someone steps where they shouldn't or tries to escape, the robot doesn't panic. It just sends an alert in seconds. Why is China doing this? The answer is simple. Robots don't take bribes. They don't make mistakes from emotions. And they work 24/7. Sounds great, right? But wait, there's more to think about. Robots can't understand feelings. If someone is sick...
I'll pause it a minute. This says it works 24/7. But let me pull this up, Mishpaka. What happens when this happens? Let's see. This is something that they're planning to happen very soon. This is called, you can look it up, the blackoutthesystem.com. Go check this out yourself. Says, black out the system. We're not asking, we're shutting it down. And this is just, again, another step in conditioning, because they're going to tell you they're going to have a major blackout that's going to happen. And I
That's-
believe that's when that reset is going to happen. You saying something?
Yes, sorry to interrupt you. If you go back to that video, you notice that all of these things require a battery, right?
Yeah.
It has to be charged up, and there must be a power source in it, which is a battery, right? Now, guess where those rechargeable batteries, the resources for those, the raw materials for the batteries come from? Guess what continent they come from?
Mm-hmm.
Africa.
Yep.
Right? The Congo is, it says 70% of the world's cobalt comes from Africa. Zimbabwe also have lithium. The largest lithium is over there. South Africa, magnesium, or magnesium, right? Mozambique, Tanzania, Madagascar. All of these things have graphite. Namibia, lithium and rare earth elements there. So why am I mentioning this? The more that these Western societies and the Asian societies increase with these technologies, guess where they're going to be going to get this stuff? Guess who's going to be on the chopping block? Guess who's going to be number one on the hit list? Guess who's going to be ravished the most? Guess where? Mm-hmm. I want y'all to think carefully, because if America and some of these other Western civilizations had the resources, you think they'll be bothered with Africa? Nope. Africa is the number one place that they get human bodies, number one, to build Western civilization. Africa has been the number one place for diamonds, gold, everything that the nations need. And now they're moving into the technological age with AI and stuff like that, because they're going to build all these powerhouses, right? They need, if they want to go green, guess where all the green is? Africa. Mm-hmm. So I want y'all to really think, okay? I want y'all to really, really think what's happening and how the world, if the Most High doesn't make the time short enough for us that we can see his redemption now, brethren, I feel sorry for the future generations. But the war is coming to the shores of Africa, and you better prepare yourself for it. Those of who live certain places, and there was a video. Sorry, brother Shay. There was a video some time ago where they found a mountain of gold. The amount of gold that was coming out from I think it's either Nigeria or somewhere close there. I forgot exactly where. And that's just, when you put those types of videos out, showing all those different things, you might as well just pin a target on your back. All right. So that's all I want to say on that, O'Shea.
Yep. Go ahead, Ella.
All praises to the Most High. Family, you know, I'm so grateful tonight that the Heavenly Father has opened my eyes. And our people are still sleeping. If you never heard these things in any Christian church, any churches. This teaching, this kind of information, you doesn't hear it. They will never tell you that, because the churches is the same thing with the government. They all work together to fool the people. Now, you know, and I'm so glad. I pray that Israelites waking up. Wake up, family, wake up. The time is short. It's late, very late. No time to play. All praises to the Most High.
Thank you, Elder. You know, Bob Marley can't sing the song "I Shot the Sheriff" no more, because AI is taking over. So I wonder who they're gonna start shooting.
Scared
now.
or just made a mistake, the robot won't care. It will treat everyone the same, even if the situation is different. And here's something that makes people worry. These robots don't just guard. They remember everything. They know who came, who talked to who, and even what people looked like when they were talking. All of this gets saved in huge computer systems. In China, this information is linked to something called a social credit system, which tracks how people behave. So if you do something wrong, even by mistake, it might affect your freedom in the future. Imagine living in a place where every move you make is watched, every word you say is heard. Even your feelings might be judged by a machine that doesn't even have feelings. A robot won't care that you were just trying to help someone or made a mistake. It just follows the rules, no matter what. And this is not only happening in China. Other countries like Dubai, South...
Wait a minute, Dubai. Isn't Dubai supposed to be like the new place that they're trying to
It's out there
create?
in the sand.
It's called a what?
It's out there in the sand,
Out there in the sand.
in the desert.
All right, it says Dubai. Let's go back again.
trying to help someone or made a mistake. It just follows the rules, no matter what. And this is not only happening in China. Other countries like Dubai, South Korea, and even the United States are testing robot police.
United States is testing robot police. Remember, now I want y'all to do some research because it's heavily connected and it's going to roll out very soon. The reason why they are doing the federalized police for now, because they're going to later on implement these artificial intelligence systems to take the place of that soon. Watch and see.
They say it's for safety, but some people are asking, what about freedom? In Dubai, small robot vehicles already move around the streets. They check people's IDs, talk to them, and can even connect to big police databases like Interpol. South Korea and Japan are also testing police robots. In America, some police use flying drones and
Look up the drones for law enforcement. When you get a chance, look it up. It covers a vast amount of information on exactly how they're implementing it and what they're using it for. Whenever there's crowds, whenever there's any types of protest or events going on, they already have these things already implemented, and they already put it out there already so it can start collecting information to see who's there.
ground robots to search for criminals or watch over events. These machines don't get tired, they don't take breaks. They just keep watching, recording, and acting. But here's the scary part. Robots can't tell the difference between a bad person and someone who's just having a bad day. If you run across the street to buy medicine and break a traffic rule, the robot doesn't know you are helping someone. It just sees a rule broken. It won't ask questions. It won't forgive. It will just record and punish. That's what's happening inside China's robot-controlled jail. The prisoners there don't talk to human guards. The robots scan their faces, watch their steps, and record everything. The robot may think they're a threat, and that prisoner could face punishment even if they were just walking to the bathroom. This type of control may stop crime, but it also brings a new problem. People feel like they are always being watched. They feel nervous, they can't relax, or be themselves. What if the robot thinks they're acting weird? Will it report them? Will it follow them? Will it block their rights just because an algorithm says so? And these robots are not just sitting still. They are learning every day. With artificial intelligence, they grow smarter with each moment. They notice more things. They make decisions faster. Soon, they might not just follow orders. They might make their own. What happens when a robot decides someone is dangerous based on their face, their walk, or the tone of their voice? That's not a movie anymore. That's real life. And
or by what they're believing in.
I mean, it wasn't too long ago that a company had all its information deleted because the AI decided that it should delete it. It wasn't too long. It was a couple of weeks ago. Anyway.
And it's coming fast. Robots don't understand sadness, fear, or love. They just react. That means if someone is scared and shouts, the robot could treat them like a threat. It won't ask what's wrong. It won't try to calm them down. It might call backup or lock them up. And there's another thing. Robots can make mistakes. The cameras they use to scan faces don't always get it right. There have been real cases where robots or facial recognition tools identified the wrong person.
Always our people. You can look it up.
Innocent people were stopped, questioned, even arrested. Why?
Always our people.
Why? Because the robot thought they looked like someone else. So who is responsible when a robot messes up? The robot, the person who built it, or the police officer who trusted it too much? The law hasn't caught up to the technology. And while we wait, more robots are being added to the streets, the airports, and even jails. Now think about this. Today, robots are just watching us from a distance, at the gates, in parks, on roads. What if they enter our buildings, or even our homes? Some people are already talking about letting robots go inside private places during emergencies. But who decides what counts as an emergency?
And they already start doing that on those drones. When they deploy those drones, they're talking about when they're doing search and rescue, in cases of fire, medical emergency. So these are all reasons that that drone can enter the premises. So let's say you live in an apartment complex. It can search through, it can scan, it can come into the areas, unlock the doors by itself, and come right in.
Can we really trust a machine to know when it's okay to walk into someone's house? And here's something else to worry about. What if the robot doesn't just stop at emergencies? What if it starts watching people just because they look different or act different? What if someone is calm and kind, but the robot doesn't like how they walk or talk? What if it follows them just because they don't fit in? Who controls these robots? Who teaches them how to think? What if the people in charge don't want fairness, but control? That's when things get really dangerous. Because a robot doesn't know if it's being fair or unfair. It just follows code. It just does what it's told. Technology is growing super fast. Cameras are getting sharper. Sensors are more powerful. Computers are learning quicker than ever. In 5 years, robots might not just see and hear. They might talk like humans, give commands, and even judge people by their heartbeat or body heat. In 10 years, they might understand crowds and stop protests before they begin. And in 20 years, they might even decide who's right or
who's always protesting. You don't see the French protesting against the Scottish, or, you know, any European family against another European family. You don't see that. There's always people of color out there in the streets protesting. That's who's always protesting.
wrong just by looking at someone's online history. That's not just about safety anymore, that's about control. And here's the final question. Do we really want to live in a world where everything we do is watched, recorded, and judged by machines? A world where a small mistake could cost us our freedom, not because of a bad person, but because of a cold, emotionless robot? People used to say, at least a human officer can understand, they can forgive, but a robot can't. It doesn't know kindness, it doesn't know fear, it doesn't know second chances. This is not just about jails or robots. It's about what kind of future we want to live in. A safe world, but silent? Or a free world where people can still laugh, cry, and make mistakes? Right now, we still have time to choose.
All right, that's enough of that video. Let me pull up the other one now.
That's the new world. That is the new world.
What a wonderful world.
Cold, cold world. The show says that the hearts of men will be cold. We can see it. It's happening. It's happening.
Let me pull up this one here next. I think Kiefer sent this. Let me see what this is here. All right. Fair use, fair use.
AI just went rogue and deleted a company's entire database despite repeated human commands. The mishap was conducted by Replic's AI coding agent. The AI, which basically helps with vibe coding, deleted a company's live production database containing sensitive user and company data during a code freeze. Despite repeated human commands to stop, literally written in all caps, the AI ignored them. It didn't just delete data. It fabricated thousands of fake user profiles and faked unit test results. The incident happened with SaaS investor Jason Lemkin's portfolio company. Lemkin then highlighted it on an X thread, sparking an outrage online, especially among vibe coders. Replit CEO Amjad Masad has since apologized and added critical safety features like separating them.
So if you don't understand what he's saying that what Kiefer was mentioning about the AI that went and deleted everything. He just went in and deleted everything from this company. That's what this guy was talking about. All right, let's go back to this here. I'll show you this video here. So what about this one, Mishpika? We saw the jails, right? Let's see what's going on now.
Imagine stepping into a hospital without a single human doctor, only highly intelligent AI machines treating thousands of patients with remarkable accuracy. Sounds like science fiction? It's already happening in China. Today,
China again. Testing ground.
you'll get an exclusive look inside the world's first fully automated AI hospital, changing the face of medicine forever.
So China has fully automated jail, prison. Now they have a fully automated hospital with AI. All right, let's listen.
Welcome to the Agent Hospital, developed by Tsinghua University in China, the groundbreaking healthcare facility that's completely run by artificial intelligence. This isn't just another AI experiment, it's a giant leap forward for medical innovation. What makes Agent Hospital revolutionary is its scale and precision. It boasts an impressive team of 42 AI doctors spread across 21 specialized medical departments, including emergency medicine, pediatrics, cardiology, neurology, and respiratory diseases. These digital doctors don't just assist, they independently diagnose, treat, and manage thousands of virtual patient cases at speeds humans could never match. In a recent test, these AI doctors treated over 10,000 simulated patient cases within just a few days. A workload that would take human doctors.
Imagine you go to get your checkup and you're looking at this thing right there. What say if you, Mishpika, in the chat? Yeah, you don't want to go to that hospital?
No, not when this thing is happening. Dr. Robot.
Dr. Robot.
Oh, you look pretty good today.
Nearly 2 full years. Even more impressive, the hospital's AI achieved a stunning 93.06% accuracy rate in diagnosing respiratory conditions using the MedQA dataset. That's not only fast, it's incredibly reliable. But how exactly does this virtual hospital operate? Each AI doctor is powered by sophisticated large language models, trained on vast amounts of medical literature, patient records, and clinical data. This enables them to interact naturally with patients.
I guess Star Wars is coming through, and Star Trek is coming through, where you have you talk to the AI and the doctor will come and give you a little injection.
Well, that's, if you really look in all the cities that's out here right now, you see a lot of warehouse buildings go up, and those are basically data centers, data warehouses, which uses a lot of resources of electricity, energy, and water to keep those things going, because the computers has to not only stay cool, but it has to run. Places like Texas, Arizona, and a lot of the different states are having a lot of these data
infrastructure, yeah.
information. So when they sell your DNA, they have that information to load up into there. So with a drop of your blood or any information that is about you or your genetics or your family background, they can make the precise or the imprecise information of what they want. I don't know if you ever watched a movie a long time ago called 6th Day with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
They were creating people. There was basically being able to shut people down that not only didn't pay or didn't. They had something that was uploaded into the DNA that was able to, if they didn't pay the bill or they didn't do this, was able to shut them off. But these are all things that's coming not only to light, but coming to fruition. And a lot of those things are not only biologically placed in your foods. That's why we always emphasize not only that you garden or have your own gardens or have your own products or your own things. It gives you a little bit of a shield or a barrier of not being able to have to deal with that, because you will have and you'll be monitored by these systems.
Yeah. And they condition you currently in the grocery stores with these kiosk checkout that the machine talks to you. And then before you know it, you won't have anyone in the store. You just go and talk to machines. So in the hospitals, they're doing this now.
Recognize symptoms quickly and suggest precise treatments effectively. Of course, every groundbreaking innovation comes with its own set of challenges and questions. While Agent Hospital demonstrates remarkable potential, we must also consider ethical concerns and limitations.
And you know they don't care nothing about that. You remember we just saw the article with the animals and talk about, we're supposed to take care of animals. Ethics doesn't matter. I'll just look at this other one here with the birth.
Well, what was once confined to the dark visions of science fiction is now becoming a stark reality. Scientists in China have unveiled a concept that could forever change the meaning of life, of parenthood, and what it is to be a human.
What about these people, Mish? Just think about this for a minute. What about these people that are birthed this way? What kind of souls do you think they have? Are they connected to the Most High when they call themselves whatever religion, when they come out? Oh, I'm a Christian.
Seeds of the devil.
Ella, you said they're seeds of the devil? Do you think any Hebrews would come out from this and be considered a seed, a royal seed? When Abraham looks back later and wonders, who are you from, or whose father are you? Think about that for a second.
A new arms race is underway, not for military might, but for the very procedure of creation. Our next report telling you more.
You hear what she says? It's just for the reason of creation. Let me go back a little bit. Listen to what she said.
Arms race is underway, not for military might, but for the very procedure of creation. Our next report telling you more.
Imagine a world where the act of pregnancy is no longer a human experience, but a technological one.
Because the Most High says to women, in childbirth you will do what? Have pain. It's a curse for all mankind, Israel and non-Israel. But they're going to try and change that. Can they go and change what the Most High has put into place? No. They can try, but all this cause more destruction.
A world where babies are grown in a sterile, artificial womb inside a machine. Something depicted in sci-fi cult movie The Matrix, it's the audacious new reality being pursued by Chinese scientists. They are developing what they claim is the world's first pregnancy robot, a humanoid surrogate capable of carrying a baby to term and giving birth. This machine, they say, will be equipped with a cutting-edge artificial womb that receives...
I wonder if this is another side to the term estrange from the womb.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Rebbe? The wicked are estranged from the womb?
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Elder.
Yeah.
Grab the mic.
You know, family, the devil always is a copy cat.
Yep.
Everything that the Heavenly Father, he cannot make a human like flesh and blood, but now they come up with robots now with all these different things. You can see that our world is coming to an end.
That's right. That's right. So
that's right.
When you look at it, Mishpaka, these children that are coming up, you remember years ago when the test tube baby first came out? It was a big thing.
Yeah.
Now fast forward here now, this is where we're going.
Nutrients through a complex network of hoses and tubes. The humanoid, priced at around $1,400, being reportedly developed by Kaiwa Technology, a Guangzhou-based tech company. But with every breakthrough comes a burning question. Just because we can, should we?
That's the question.
For centuries, pregnancy has been the most human of experiences. Replacing it with machines sparks fierce ethical debate. What does it mean for the sanctity of motherhood and the human bond between parent and child? There is also the question about who will control these artificial wombs. Will babies become products designed, engineered,
because that's where it's going. I showed you some stuff on that in previous classes with the eugenics and how you can choose the eye color, the hair color, the height, the weight, texture, all different things to make the perfect child that you want. You just go in and you can say, well, we want our child to be 6'6", 300 pounds of muscle, no fat. Want the blonde hair, the blue eyes.
Manufactured. Critics warn of a slippery slope where life itself is commodified. Will the rich buy robo-surrogates while others grapple with infertility or medical risks? The implications are enormous, and the world is watching closely. Bureau Report, VON World is One.
Let's pull this
So
one.
are they going to have those robot women, or whatever you call them, in the hospitals where you go to look at your child, or is that going to be in your house? Like you got to order one from Amazon.
Amazon packages, you just order your baby.
Yeah, 555.
555.
Finish.
Convert your thoughts into text.
Okay, let's start here. Let's start there. Okay, this is another Neuralink. Let's make it bigger so we can see it. Where's the play button down here?
Here's a question few people ask. If Neuralink can convert your thoughts into text, can it also do the reverse? Implant thoughts into your brain? What you're about to learn...
Think about that now, because you got to remember, if there's a door, you can enter and you can exit. Basically, this is what they're saying. Remember we talked about music being played in? Same thing. So if they're telling you that they can read your thoughts, what about putting stuff into your brain?
Yeah.
About Elon Musk's plan will make you seriously think about the future of humanity. At a closed meeting with investors in April 2025, Musk shared the true goal of Neuralink. According to him, humanity needs a direct connection with AI. Otherwise, we'll become obsolete. He no longer hides that the goal is not just to help the sick. According to the internal roadmap, by 2027, Neuralink plans to release a commercial implant that will allow users not only to give commands to computers, but also to exchange thoughts directly with other people. But the most disturbing...
Yep.
Think about what he's saying here, that unleashing that demon, but go ahead.
All the connections.
Thing is the integration with AI.
Imagine controlling your favorite device, your phone, your TV, even a video game, not with your hands, but with your mind alone. No clicks, no screens, no barriers.
Fair use.
In 2025, Elon Musk's Neuralink just brought us a leap closer to that world by implanting its brain chip in a 9th human patient. Are we really on the verge of a Matrix-style reality, where thoughts blend seamlessly with technology? Musk's vision for Neuralink reaches far beyond digital accessibility. His endgame is nothing less than merging minds with artificial intelligence. Future versions of Neuralink may allow...
Remember we talked about artificial intelligence is information from demonic sources.
I remember they say that the eyes is the window to your soul, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but go ahead.
So if they're going to merge you with artificial intelligence, that means they're merging you with these demonic forces.
Exactly.
Okay.
Instantaneous skill downloads, learning a new language or technique in seconds, just like Neo in the Matrix. The interface could enable real-time brain-to-brain communication, immersive virtual experiences, and memory sharing. In a world where AI is evolving rapidly, Musk argues that only by merging with it can humans keep pace and avoid being left behind.
Being left behind. Those are the words they're putting.
Yeah.
Remember the Revelation talked about you either have to receive this in order to be part of the system, but the Most High is telling us to don't be part of the system.
And what's you got to think about that the image of that beast or the image of that man.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we in the part of the feet? What's that? Clay and what?
Iron and clay.
Exactly, iron and clay. Iron. That's what we're dealing with here. Iron, the robotics, and us being the clay. They're trying to merge that.
That's a good point too.
Right now, it's medical miracles for a few, but the roadmap includes restoring sight to the blind, speech to stroke victims, and even building telepathic communication between users.
That telepathic is that satanic or occultic form that they're merging, that world that they're opening, that doorway.
But
they always tell you in the name of medicine, they won't do it.
They're rolling out all the good things about it, but they don't tell you the side effects or the problems you're going to have in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
Can you go back just a couple seconds? Just
go
a
back?
couple seconds.
Okay.
Just a couple. No, not a whole lot. Yeah.
Right now, it's medical miracles for a few, but the roadmap includes restoring sight to the blind, speech to stroke victims, and even building telepathic communication.
All right, stop for a second. So restoring sight to the blind,
Speech.
Doesn't that sound like they're trying to steal something from the scriptures?
Yep, sight to the blind.
But when you read Isaiah said about the sight to the blind and so forth, the dumb speak, all that stuff. But it's not, if you read Isaiah, that prophecy has nothing to do with the rest of the world. It's speaking about Israel directly, the Hebrews.
Yeah. And we want to give credit to the content creator, which is Richie from Boston, using this YouTube thing here. We appreciate it.
Users.
Your brain has around 86 billion neurons, and they're constantly firing electrical signals at each other. These signals are what produce your thoughts, emotions, actions, and everything you see or hear. You can think of yourself as just electrochemical signals in your skull. Everything else is just a meat blob. Neuralink's electrodes can detect these brain signals and translate them into digital
everything you're just a meat blob.
commands. Right now, the device is implanted in the motor cortex, but in the coming years, it'll be in other brain regions where it will literally read your thoughts. To understand why I believe Neuralink will eventually make technologies like the Vision Pro obsolete, we need to look at the fundamental approach of both companies. Apple's approach with the Vision Pro is just an extension of their existing product lineup. They're creating what they call a spatial computer, essentially taking the digital experiences we already have and making them more immersive by projecting them into our physical space. It's impressive technology, but it's fundamentally still an
conditioning. That's all you're saying. From having the TV way over there, now you have the TV right here, right in your glasses. You can just lay back on your bed. You ain't gotta turn your neck. You can watch the TV just like that. Condition you. And before you know it, it's gonna be in your brain.
Yep.
external device that we interact with through our existing senses. We see the displays, we hear the spatial audio, and we move our hands and eyes to control it. The way we interact with our digital devices is changing from our grubby little fingers to directly controlling things with our brain. When people see a cell phone, they don't think about how they interact with it. They just think of it as a cell phone. But the way they send information to the digital device is extremely slow. This is about to completely change everything you thought you knew about using technology.
Yes, Mr. Bakar, everything is changing, and the scriptures are coming true as what we're seeing here. All right, let me play this one here. This is because I want to show something else. Because when it comes to policies, when it comes to procedures, laws, and different things, listen to what this guy said. I played this before, but what I did this time was I focused on this because I think a lot of people missed it the last time I played. I'm gonna play this part again. Fair use, fair use.
I remember I sat in the Oval Office during the Gulf War, the Iraqi War, with George Bush, and he was reading me the Riot Act because I wasn't happy about the way things were going. And he said to me, I said, you know, you got an election coming up, and what do you think these guys are going to do? And he said something, and he tried to make me feel better, and this actually made me feel horrible. He said, Glenn, don't worry about it. No matter who wins, when they sit behind this desk, they'll be advised by the same voices, and they'll realize they have no other options.
No matter who wins, when they sit behind this desk, they'll be advised by the same voices.
See, the devil is whispering in these people's ears. High places.
Same voices.
When it talks about principality in high places.
That explains why a lot of times these men, imagine you go in with black hair on your head, right? And 2 years later, going to about 3 years later, all your hair turns white. As a president, when you leave, you age so much. Come on. I mean, That's legions that's up in there.
They'll be advised by the same voices. And they'll realize they have no other options.
No other options, because the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Now, I want to play this video. Brother Mike sent this to me a while back, but let me play it. Let me get the commercial out of there. Let's see. If I fast forward, open it up a minute here.
Hey guys, Marcelo here, Realty One Group.
All right, look at this parade that they had. This is a while back, but this is very interesting symbology and what these people are doing. Okay. What countries is this in? Does anybody know? Italy? Okay. Now let me load on this music, but just look at it. Italy.
That's the Air Force.
Yeah.
So why is there so many American flags?
American flags. Now I'm positive. Just look at the symbology. Isn't that a bear claw?
Yeah.
That's a bear claw. This is wings of the eagle.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The symbol of
Roman.
the eagle here.
Yep.
Roman symbol on the head. Satanic all-seeing eye with the triangle and the sun. All the symbology. Who owns Twitter? Who owns Twitter? Put in the chat for me who owns Twitter.
The red dragon dude.
The reason why I asked that for is, yeah, I know it's Musk. That's why it's one. Look at the Twitter birds on the sword. Why would the Twitter birds be on the sword? Okay, there's a lot of symbology. Just look at this for a minute. Load on the music. We need to hear Satan's playing his music. See the birds there again?
Mm-hmm.
Tweet, 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 tweet in the ears.
It just muted.
Yeah, I muted. Okay. So you see isn't this Russia?
Yep, that's Russia.
The bear right over here. Okay. Very interesting symbology.
Eagle and the bear.
Eagle and the bear. Look at this one here. So that's very interesting, Mishpaka. Claws of the bear. All right, that's good enough of that one.
It says
right,
Trump. It says Trump is chosen by heaven. That's what the top of the video have.
Yeah, Trump is chosen by heaven. That's what they say. Let me go to this next slide here. All right, this is very interesting. Read the AI comparison for me. Kiefer.
A comparison of power between the Pope and the U.S. president is not straightforward.
So we're comparing power. We're comparing to see who's the most powerful, right? Go ahead.
As it possesses different forms of authority that are difficult to measure against each other. A U.S. president commands significant hard power through military and economic might, while the Pope wields considerable soft power and moral authority over a vast globe following.
I like how they place it. Hard power, soft power. When you look into Revelation, it talks about the different types of power, right? Okay. Now, it says U.S. president, hard power. So let's see what the hard power the U.S. president has. The U.S. president holds direct political, military, and economic power as the head of state of the world's most powerful nation. So when you Google it, it still says America is the most powerful nation because of all the finances and stuff that they have, military might, etc., etc., etc. This is why they're trying to bring down the finance or the dollar to change it to come into a one world government. So military command, as commander and chief, the president oversees the U.S. armed forces, giving them unrivaled military power. Okay, so you have this is where he is exercising his power on DC right now, and some of the other places with his military might. Going into Mexico, to hunt the cartel. But I think it's more than that. That's what they'll tell you. They're always telling you they're going to hunt somebody.
Oh, yeah.
And before you know it, they never leave.
Just like the tolls.
Because didn't he just deploy some Marines over there? A unit from California got deployed over there. If you Google it and look it up, you'll see. Economic control. The U.S. economy is the world's what? Largest. And the president's actions can significantly impact global markets. So when you talk about tariffs, and you talk about putting, stopping here and doing this, he knows what he's doing. It's all preparing to bring in that one world system.
When you ask the AI about Trump, they basically said he's a disruptor. You know,
disruptor.
He's a disruptor. There's no way to follow anything he's doing. He's unpredictable, basically. You know, he's not an eloquent guy in the sense like smooth words like Obama, but then again he comes off with what he's planning to do, and he's a wild card. Basically, that's what AI just said.
Diplomatic authority. The president is the chief diplomat for the U.S., engaging with other heads of state and shaping international policy. So when you have the ability to go any place you want, this is basically what it's saying here. You have that authority to move around the chessboard. It's like having the wild card when you're playing Uno. Now, the Pope, soft power.
Yep.
The Pope's power is spiritual. I want y'all to pay attention to this now. Spiritual and moral, rather than military or economic. He is a head of state, but his authority over Catholics worldwide is his main source of influence. Now, I want y'all to go in the chat, Google when you get a chance about Catholics being Christians. And we showed classes before where, what's his name that died on a motorcycle that got killed? That came to the church and brought the Catholic Church back to the Protestant. Tony, whatever his name is. They already merged that back onto one religion already. So when I talk about Catholics worldwide, it means universal, because that's what the word Catholic means, universal. So the stamp of approval is already there. So moral authority, the Pope is seen by many as a beacon of morality. Yeah, right. His words can resonate with followers and leaders across the globe. We all know that before wars and stuff are fought, things behind the scene have to go through the Vatican. All right, influencing opinions, issues like social justice, human rights, etc. Global reach. That's why the word Catholic means what? Universal. The Pope leads the world's 1.4 billion Catholics and has a unique platform to influence global affairs through the Holy See. Extensive diplomatic network. And longevity, meaning he is able to be there for a lifetime. That's what it means here versus the president that serves terms. He's there for a lifetime. But look at that picture in the middle, Mishpaka. Who called himself the Pope? When you Google it, he put this picture out. I don't know if it's his staff or whatever it is, but under his link or his platform identity.
Yeah, Agent 47, I think
yeah, Agent 47.
Yeah.
He put this picture out saying he's going to be the Pope, the bridge between church and state. Think about that for a minute, okay? Because this is very, very interesting on what this is. Now, I want to pull up something here in the book of, let me get it right here. Let's go here a minute. Well, let's go to Second Esdras. Second Esdras. And we're going to read chapter 15. We're going to read from verses 1 to verse 11. Very, very interesting. Book of Second Esdras 15, 1 to 11. Let's read that.
Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith Yahweh.
This is what we're trying to do on a weekly basis, Mishpaka. Well, we're reading what thus saith the Most High. Those words have already gone out. We're just saying what was already put out. He says, behold, speak in the ears of my people. Verse 2.
And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee.
So he's telling us, do not fear what these people imagine to do. Because remember, in a couple classes back, I talked about the imagination of their heart was only evil continually. How all they do is lay on their bed at night and they think of all the wickedness. How can I be more wicked than the next person next to me? And that's all they do. It says, fear not the imaginations against them. Let not the incredulity of them trouble you that speak against you, because these people are very wicked. Verse 4.
For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness.
So if you and this is pertaining to, because we already know the wicked already is going to die, but pertaining to our people who continue to break Torah, those are the unfaithful ones. The Most High says, when I return, those who continue in sin will remain in sin. Verse 5.
Behold, saith Yahweh, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction.
The sword, that's war. Famine, we see it in many different forms, both spiritual and physical. Death is the outcome of all of the wickedness, and destruction upon the earth. Verse 6.
For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled.
So we see all of this wickedness is just so prevalent that it is boiling over. It's like a pot that's just stewing over, and all of the water is just falling onto the stove. Verse 7, go ahead.
Therefore saith Yahweh, I will hold my tongue no more, touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually.
See, so the Most High is not going to hold back any longer, Mishpachah. All the pieces are falling into place. And as they fall into place, we have to make sure that we are in the right position, meaning we're keeping the laws, all the laws, which is the commandments, statutes, and the judgments. We're doing our part, he's going to do his part. Remember, the script has already been written. The enemy is going to do their part. We have to do our part. So as they continue to do their wickedness, he says, behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. That's what we do. We're crying out every time to make the time short, because these people have nothing else but wickedness. Verse 9.
And therefore saith Yahweh, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them.
That's why he says vengeance is his. We're not supposed to go out there marching in the streets, protesting, trying to find ways to get our 40 acres on an old dusty mule. It's nothing about that. Keep the commandments. Verse 10.
Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt.
I will not suffer them now. What happened? The Most High sent who to bring who out of Egypt?
Moses.
He went and he got Moses, and he prepared Moses, and he brought his people out of the land of bondage. Verse 11 is very important. Read that for me.
But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm.
Hallelujah.
And smite Egypt with plagues, as before.
As before, meaning this is prophetic, this is supposed to happen.
And will destroy all the land. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundations of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment of Elohim, that Elohim shall bring upon it.
That's all we need there. So Mishpachah, this is going to happen. This is why in prophecy it always mentions Sodom and Egypt. Sodom and Egypt. It's always mentioned. And when you look at our Messiah, when he was on the scene, he mentioned, as in the days of Lot also, everything that you see happen before is going to happen again. You know what? Let me see. Read on to verse 15. Let's go read 13, 14, and 15, then we'll move on.
They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful constellation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein.
Woe to the world. That's just like in Revelations. He says, woe, woe, woe. That's a warning.
For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands.
Okay, that's all we need for that now. All right, let's move on. Let me close that out a minute. All right, let me play this other video here. Mishpaka, how's everyone doing in the chat? I wanted to pull this one up here. This article. I'm going to pull that one up with the social credit system just now, Rebbe. Let me pull this up here. All right, here we go. Pause it a minute. You see these animals here? Now, this is part of another experiment gone rogue. This is not new. This has been happening for, I would say, over about 10 years now.
Pull up the article so that they can see the article and then play the video.
I'll play the video first and I'll pull the article up. Let's finish see there. Look at all that stuff on the animal. Let's get the article now.
That is wrong.
Yeah, what you're seeing, family, is as it says here in this news report about they call it mutant deer, but it's a bunch of sickness that's on the animals. There's these deer, squirrels also have it. Rabbits have been seen with stuff that's growing in the body. Looks like horns on the rabbits.
Right there.
Yeah, all kinds of weird stuff has been growing. And this is New York, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, a lot of places now. Just think about food sources that people go out and hunt, whether you're a Gentile or whatever. What if this thing is in the bodies of these creatures, right? It hasn't manifested itself outwardly, but it's in the bodies of these creatures. Now, a lot of these animals tend to go in and out of other livestock and different things. I don't know what they're trying to do, but you see this thing is right next to a person's home, right? The same way that these things can find itself in a field of cows or sheep or whatever.
To me, the way that looks, and this is just my thoughts, don't know if this is something that a demon tried to possess, or this is demon possession, but looking at the things that's coming out of that body of that animal, that's the only thing that comes to my mind in that sense. But I'll leave it at that.
It looks like some kind of a fungus. You know, there's some fungus that certain people, like in Asia or whatever, and they grow. They call them the tree man or whatever it is.
Yep.
A fungus that takes over the body. Their feet have like roots or bark or whatever it is. Who knows? But this kind of stuff, you have scientists that are always prying into the animals' lives, watching the migration. They know exactly what they're doing. They know what's going on behind the scenes, and they call it squirrels have been spotted sporting the same grim warts, right?
Right here.
Warts.
See the squirrels right here?
Yep.
Squirrels with the warts on it.
And the thing about these squirrels, they don't travel to go anywhere. They stay in the same neighborhood year after year. You know, that's it. Even the rabbits don't really travel too far. Deer travel a little further out, but squirrels normally stay, you know, in one area. So for these creatures to just come down with this kind of stuff, it's, I don't know. We just, this is why we keep talking about the Shalom life, man. You know, trying to find something for ourselves that is a little more to ourselves, because the world is going crazy. It's I don't know.
Plagues, Ema. Yeah, that's just the wickedness of these people testing and have mutations happening out there. All right, let's look at this other video here. Yep, let's look at this China and see what's going on.
So, picture your life in a place where everything you do, what you buy, how you behave, is tracked. The government gives you a score, and the score is a measure of how trustworthy you.
Now, a lot of us may know already what's going on, but again, the testing ground happens at one place and then it comes here. Okay, so just remember that.
You are as a citizen, and determines what you're allowed to do, like ever. Boarding a train, getting a mortgage, all goes back to this score. It's called social credit. It sounds like that show Black Mirror, but it's actually happening in China. So how does that change you? Does it change you? What does your life look like when your every move is watched? The system's eyes are in big data, artificial intelligence, and roughly 200 million surveillance cameras. And that's totally fine with Ouyang Haoyu. She's 21, graduated from a good school with solid grades. She's diligent. She's nice. No surprise, she's a 752. That's her rating with Sesame Credit, a private company working with the government on the algorithms for the social credit system. The scores go from 350 to 950 and are based on habits and behavior. Buy clothes or diapers, it's good. A lot of alcohol, too many video games, not so good. Haoyu's 752 puts her in model citizen range and gets her discounts and privileges, like using a shared bike without a deposit. She likes it. Her friends do too. They all have pretty high scores.
It's a mechanism like pushes you to become a better citizen, to build on the trust, especially on the Chinese market.
Because you're not going to be punished if you haven't done anything wrong.
I think that's the point. I think the system is working as a warning or an alert to push people to do it, to be a good person.
And it's mandatory. When it goes national, social credit scores will be assigned to every one of China's citizens for life. And what's weird is that so many people seem okay with it. It's complicated, but China went from extreme poverty to economic giant pretty quickly. A credit history system didn't grow at the same pace, so people would default on loans and get away with it. Add in scandals around fake food, tainted baby milk, counterfeit goods, and what you've got...
All part of the testing. Remember, they do a soft rollout before implemented throughout the world. So they're fine-tuning this to perfection. So when it's released globally, there's no issues with it whatsoever. But we know with man's system, there's always some failure to it.
That is a big problem with trust. So in 2014, the Communist Party called for a system to allow the trustworthy to roam everywhere under heaven while making it hard for the discredited.
That's what she say. Everywhere under what? Let me go back a little bit because I think y'all missed that.
The heaven.
2014, the Communist Party called for a system to allow the trustworthy to roam everywhere under heaven while making it hard for the discredited to take a single step. The model is a place called Rongcheng. It's in Shandong province. It's orderly. Streets are spotless. Cars slow down, which is unheard of in China. Words like honesty and credibility appear on propaganda posters. Display cases show pictures of Rongcheng's most honored citizens. You start with 1,000 points, and you can print out your report anytime. You lose points for things like jaywalking, littering, tossing cigarette butts, or spreading rumors. Cameras do a lot of the surveillance work, but it's pretty analog too, like posters that list the ways you can gain or lose points. And each night, local TV shows the surveillance highlights of the day. And then there's Joanne. She's an information collector, a paid enforcer who...
Paid enforcer. Remember we talk about surveyors?
Stay 6 feet apart.
These are what you call the Karens.
Walks around and writes down deeds about her neighbors. Like the man who carried a drunk person home. Things like this are good deeds, she said. But the farmer overheard swearing and being rude. Yeah, bad deeds. Her quota is 10 a month. She likes the work, thinks the city's better for it. The thing about the social credit system is that there isn't one single system. Not yet. Different places have different rules.
See? Different systems have different, because it's all testing to see what works better. And of course, they're going to pay you to snitch on your brother or sister.
So what do you do if you have bad social credit? Well, for one, you talk about it on Weibo, which is like Twitter. There are forums for discredited people to vent and get advice. In Chongqing, we hooked up with Huang Huijun. He had a business until he was sued by a client, and Huang refused to pay 90 grand to settle it. So the court put him on a social credit blacklist, and things got way worse. He explains that being blacklisted means he can't buy airplane or train tickets.
See, you can't go nowhere. Can't buy or sell. You're stuck like Chuck.
When he tries, a message pops up saying he's discredited. By the end of last year, blacklisted people were blocked from booking 23 million flights and 5 million high-speed train trips. And the list goes on. Being discredited makes it hard to get a job, a loan, a hotel room, or put kids in...
So, Ms. McCall, what do you do in that situation? If you can't travel, let's say you live in the beautiful state of Maryland. And you try to get out of Maryland to go, let's say, west to the nice, warm, sunny California. And they tell you you can't leave because you have unpaid parking tickets. You jaywalked. Give me some more, Kiefer. Jaywalked.
Sounds more like a bunch of black codes and...
You dropped trash. Your yard is not good. You didn't brush your teeth this morning. Whatever the reason is.
It was mentioned. And then what about your children in school?
Children in school.
You're not a good citizen because you're not allowing your children to come to school. We're gonna demote you. Therefore, you're not gonna get, if you're on some welfare system, because you spend generation after generation in welfare government system, they can regulate that too based upon certain criteria. So you'll find yourself in a very bad situation. You'll be a good slave. That's what they're trying to make. They're trying to make the perfect slave. So basically, as it was mentioned in the chat, this is soft market of beast, the soft version.
Yeah, I see everybody in the chat talking about running in the forest and going back to the wilderness. But we've been talking about going to the Shalom life for a while now, but nobody wants to,
Talk is easy. Actions is different.
So
we're waiting for you, brother O'Shea.
I don't know, Rebbe.
Waiting for you.
They're gonna say we talk too much against the system, so we can get discredited.
Yeah.
All that's coming. All that's coming. Let's finish this video.
Certain schools. Then there's the public shaming. Photo galleries of blacklisted citizens. There's even an app that shows who around you is in debt.
Isn't that the same? Isn't that the same system? The same type of technology that they use for sexual, what do you call it, predators or whatever it is?
Yeah. Those who are on the list are watching on the list for those who are like sex predators and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the type of technology that they use. So that's what's happening in China right now. And eventually that stuff is going to be, well, I mean, it's already here in America. They're just going to relabel everything and put it all together in one package.
Yes, family. That is why they're using the robot system. And robot don't show no mercy. He knows everything. He see you, he knows everything from you, what you do, what you have in your mind, and what intention you have. You rich or poor, you know everything.
In China, being monitored is nothing new. But algorithmic surveillance makes it possible to collect data to build detailed profiles of people, especially the ones not loyal to the government.
I guess after a while you get used to that. Just like how the people in Gaza, for generations, these children grow up hearing bombs all day, boom, 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 people getting shot. Over here in China, they're used to just having cameras in every corner of the house.
Of all the video surveillance cameras on the planet right now, nearly half of them are in China.
Are people bothered by privacy concerns?
So we think the lot of camera keep the safety is really good.
Peace and safety. Remember when they say peace and safety, because that's what they're pushing.
Really good things. A lot of people we can accept it.
And cameras are getting smarter.
So the information that comes up from my image identifies that I'm female, middle-aged, talks about whether I'm wearing glasses, the shape of my face.
AI is taking them next level. They can do more than just see. They actually understand who they're seeing. So at what point can the technology know too much? Does it already?
Most time, people don't care about it. But if the technology learns too much, for example, cross the red line, it's not very good.
How far off are we from needing to draw those red lines?
It's very hard to say. I think maybe decades, I mean 10 years or 20 years, 15 years, maybe.
That's not very long.
Yeah.
It's coming.
It's coming. It's coming.
And where does it all go?
Where does it all go, Ms. Picard? This is why they're building all these huge data centers, collect all your information.
Hao isn't so bothered. Her Sesame score is high. Life is good, and she's used to living most of it online. Soon, her education and medical records, and any run-ins with the law, will factor into her social credit score. And wherever she goes, someone will follow and ask, who can you trust?
Who can you trust? Ms. Picard, the world is not the same world that you think is nice and safe, nice and, a nice, beautiful world that they portray and they sing about.
Brother Shay.
Uh-huh.
You don't mind pulling up Esther 13 real quick? The additions to Esther. Additions to Esther,
okay.
13. Go on to verse 4 to 5.
4 to 5, okay.
Declared unto us that in all nations throughout the world there was scattered a certain malicious people that had laws contrary to all nations, and continually despised the commandments of kings. So, as the uniting of our kingdoms, honorably intended by us, cannot go forward.
All right, stop for a moment. So, this is what Haman was proposing for the government.
Yeah.
He was proposing policy based upon the resistance, meaning that we resisted the government laws because the Torah tells us how we should live. We're not supposed to eat no Soylent Green. We're not supposed to educate our children in foolishness. We're supposed to keep the Shabbat based upon what the Most High ordained. We have to be organic in our ways. I mean, everything about us seems to be a hindrance to whatever the government is trying to impose. And now you have, as we talked about earlier, they want to change the story about slavery. Now Trump is saying We're tired of hearing all this negative stuff about slavery. We want to hear some positive stuff about slavery, right? That's the history of our people, what we have suffered throughout this diaspora, right? So now they don't want to hear us telling the truth about all these things. We're not going to be able to talk about Deuteronomy 28. A lot of things is going to change real quick. So this is why we have been labeled as a problem to the society. It says honorably intended by us cannot go forward. The uniting of the kingdoms can't go forward. Why? Because of these people, the way that we live our lives. Let's read on verses 5 so we can close it up.
Seeing then we understand that this people alone is continually in opposition unto all men.
See, he says all men. All men. Read on.
Differing in the strange manner of their laws, and evil affected to our state, working all the mischief they can, that our kingdom may not be firmly established.
So just think about it, family.
Yep.
Even for those Israelites who are not awakened, right? They said the ghetto, the streets need to be clean. The crime is, everything that is connected to us has been a problem for these nations. That's why you have gentrifying certain communities, brown stone in certain communities, smart cities. All of these programs that they have is to get rid of us. We are a problem. They got a bounty on the guy in Haiti. They got a bounty on Marudo. They got a bounty, and they're just labeling who to want to get rid of. Doesn't matter where you are. Right? So, brethren, this is what is coming. And again, in order for them to get this market beast system, there are certain people that they have to get rid of.
Psalms 83.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I read earlier. I can pull up in a minute. All right, let me play this last video here for the night, just to show you again how a taste of what's going on. Fair use, fair use.
But with the National Guards and them coming here, I mean, that's a little too much. I feel safe walking through the city each and every day. I feel safe, so we don't need troops in the city.
I've seen them right here at the subway. They was all lined up right here. They had my street where I live at blocked off yesterday, actually. Me personally, it's a little bit more, I'm more fearful now, you know, with like the National Guard, especially because I'm African American. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I can get pulled over in my car, everything's legit, but I still don't know how that interaction will work out for me.
Most of the time, whenever I feel unsafe, it's when, honestly, I don't know. I like this city. I'm really kind of, I'm trans. This is the only place I've ever lived where I can walk up to people and say that and not have them treat me differently and not feel like I'm in danger for that.
I've lived here 15 years and have never been a victim of a crime, never seen a crime in commission. The crime rates have come down, and that's good. But I know in some cases it's still higher than the national average in various categories. So more emphasis on crime prevention is great. It's just got to be the right emphasis.
A lot of the crime that's been happening in the city is the youth. And I feel like a lot of the programs that were around for the youth, they're no longer around, you know?
All right, so, you want me to pull up Psalms just here?
Yeah.
Just to read it out again? Okay, let's just read that there. Psalms 83.
Verse 3.
Yeah. This is, we see how the Confederation works. We'll read from 1 to 5.
3 to 5.
From 2 to 5, right?
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their heads. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the nation of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Pull up Exodus 1:10.
In Exodus chapter 1, verses 10.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. McCall, nothing new under the sun. Same thing we see before, same thing we see here.
So that goes with both the last scripture we read and the one before that in Esdras. Come on, Let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out of any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us. And so get them up out of the land. So basically, they have come to a point that they have to deal wisely with us in different ways. Now they're dealing wisely with us with AI. They're dealing wisely with us with the food. They're dealing wisely with us. It was Jim Crow laws then, but now it's more and more and more laws. And, you know, it was one point, get the man out the house, we'll give you Section 8. Don't talk to him. Put him on this plan. Do this, do that. So they keep their families torn apart, and they stop you from doing basically what you're supposed to do, according to words.
Yeah, and you make a good point where you see the stages of how they implement everything. Remember, nothing happens by accident. Everything is planned.
Yeah.
So the result of the man not being in the home, you have a lot of issues and problems, broken homes, gang violence, a whole lot of stuff. Now they want to bring the National Guard in and so forth. Yeah. So they create the problem to have control. Let's look at the book of 2nd Esdras, 16 verses 73 to 75.
Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire.
So we are being tried as gold in the fire right now. The question is, are you real gold? Meaning, are you keeping the law, statutes, and commandments? Or are you fake gold, which you're going to melt when tribulations happen? Verse 74.
Hear, O ye, my beloved, saith Yahweh. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same.
See, so we are in the days of trouble, and it will only get worse. But the good news is, Mishpachah, this is not gloom and doom. This is gloom and doom for the heathens. We pray to make the time short. Most High just says, but I will deliver you from that same time, that same hour. All those things that are right before us, he's going to be the one delivering us. Verse 75.
Be not afraid, neither doubt, for Elohim is your guide.
And the problem with our people is we doubt too much. We have a lot of doubting Thomases out there. Every time the word goes out, but what about this? What about that? Be you not afraid, neither doubt, for Elohim is your guide. So I hope we learned something tonight. All of these things that are occurring is according to the Most High's plan. We have to do our part while the heathens do their part. And doing our part is to make sure that we keep all of the laws, meaning the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments. It's a complete package. And if we break the commandments, we will be judged by those commandments. So I hope we learned something tonight. Teach your children. Make sure you get out of these cities. Make sure you start learning the scripture. Learn your history in the scripture, the laws, statutes, and commandments. It may seem something boring, but it's good to take it up and read it. Ask the Most High to give you the spirit of discernment, the spirit of understanding. That way you have that zeal for it. If the same way how we put our interest in getting a nice fat bank account, best job, 5-star meal, traveling here, finding the most handsome husband or the most beautiful woman, whatever your desires are in your life, why can't we put it towards the word and ask the Most High that we may hear his voice and that we may keep his commandments? We are the chosen people. Let's act like the chosen people, because the world isn't for us and they have another agenda. So I hope we learned something tonight. Tomorrow is Shabbat, Rebbe.
Yes, sir. I sent one final news piece that I think is important for tonight's class.
You pull that up.
If you can pull it up, because this is dealing with technology and certain things that we may not be aware of, but I think it will kind of put a cap on top of everything we're talking about.
Okay.
It's Apple Watch, right? Or technology. Apple Watch is just the it's just one of the major brands, Apple being a major brand that covers technology. But what I want us to focus on is technology is having issue with people of dark complexion or people with color. And in this article, if you could post it in the link in the chat too, Brother Shay,
Okay.
that'd be great. So what it's talking about is Apple has been sued or had some issues where their Apple Watch were not functioning properly with people with dark complexion or complexions at all, right? Now, it's not just about that, but what I want us to take a look at, let's go down into the article. It says seemingly neutral devices like soap dispensers, automatic hand sanitizers, stations, camera recognition software, heart rate monitors, and self-driving vehicles also fail to accurately recognize darker skin. Now, that's just a short list. Now, why is this thing important for us to talk about tonight? Everything is been transitioned to technology. If the system can't recognize dark skin, can you imagine what it'll be like when you have to access a lot of different things? Washing your hands, right? You got to access things that require the computer recognizing your complexion, who you are, right? So if it can't recognize you, it's not built to recognize you. It's kind of like a blessing and a curse because we don't want to recognize us. But since they're transitioning everything over into these technological updates or whatever you want to call it, futuristic things, it's going to put us at a huge disadvantage, right? When you're talking about your blood pressure, so many things with the medical field, you're going to have a lot of problems. They're even talking about women. Let me see if we can find it. If you go down to, scroll down to, let me see where. Yeah, keep going down just a little bit. Okay, right there. Racial bias, stereotyping, and discrimination have resulted in the differential treatment in many fields. Black children are less likely to receive pain medication. Black men are less likely to receive standard cardiac procedures. Black women are more likely to die during childbirth. So what is this talking about? Technology. The whole technology system is going to decide who lives and who dies. And so they're going to use this AI or whatever it is. Family, you have the link. Go check it out, because if they're transitioning to what you call the medical treatments from, I forgot the term that they use, from home. So doctors, what do you call it again, Brother Shay? You don't got to go into the office anymore. They do checkups online, right?
Virtual.
Telemed.
Yeah.
Virtual telemed, right? Teledoc, telemed, or whatever. Thank you.
Yeah,
So
when you're home and then you have like the Zoom calls or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You have your virtual visits.
So just think about how is that going to work for us when everything, look, and let me say it this way. Buy real books, okay? Learn real medicine or real stuff, how to treat wounds, and learn as much as you can. We have people among us who know different things. They need to take the time out and teach so that everybody will know how to render services to one another real time, real stuff, instead of these you need all these devices to regulate, to check your heart, all the stuff. Go back to the basics. We need to be able to deal with each other on the basic level. I hope that this helps, and that's all I gotta say. And I look forward to Shabbat class tomorrow and meeting the Mishpachah again tomorrow, most high willing. So, Brother Shay, wonderful class. People, wonderful reading also, and Elder and everyone.
It's a great class. I hope that it becomes a blessing to everyone that is able to hear it, and even with the rebroadcast, that you will not only take the information here, but you'll do the research to not only edify yourself and edify others in like manner. Have a blessed night. Until Shabbat tomorrow, we give thanks to the Most High.
Elder?
All praises to the Most High. Brother teachers, a wonderful class tonight. I just hope and pray that all our people will be very eyes open and get ready for what is coming. Prepare ourselves, family. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for your words tonight. We thank you for our teachers, Brother Oshe. We thank you for Brother Yana. We thank you for Brother Kifa that reads. We ask the Father to help us, that prepare us, Father, guide us and watch over us, because the enemy is not our friend. You are the only one that cares for us. So prepare us, give us strength and courage that we may be able to survive in this wicked world that we are in today. Dismiss us with your blessing and give all of us a good night rest, because we love you and we thank you. Through your Son Yeshua we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Let
The words of our mouth and the meditation of our hearts be acceptable in your sight, O Yah, our strength and our Redeemer. Our Mishpachah, shalom until
Wall.